Beautiful people, welcome to the midday show. That right there is your boy Joey Options, and I'm Sharif, and I'm already in a position over here. We're doing it freaking live on CEP, Joseph. We're long the $half. It's showing me the whole dollar right now. We're gonna get boom right away. Let's just that screen, Andre. I'm taking prints here, baby. All right, there we go. We're doing it live here. 35.50. It just gave me 36.30. Shout out to my girl Tisha in the chat. You're the one that pointed this one out to me, Tisha. I know you didn't tag me, but I saw your comment anyway. CE freaking P moving to the high side here, popping up into that $37 high a day. Now that I've taken a couple of prints, we can calm the hell down. And shout out everybody. Shout out to Rav Boost, Los Palos Hermanos. We got Skull, Mike DeRider, and Just Livin'. We got Esvin, Rivera, Dumbo Things Films, TX Trader, Rajesh, Juan, Justin, Nomo, YV. How about Ronnie R and Moonshoot? I like that. Helgi. Shout out to the world's greatest mod too, man. We also got Surin, AI Rod. I don't know what that. Oh, I like that. Okay, I like that. John Manzoni, one of Katina Man's boys over there. We got the OG Gorev. We got Anish. How about Too Simple? PC Heaven. Conrad, Damien on the blockchain. Shout out to him as well. We got, who else we got here? Joseph. We got Dallas, your favorite city, Joe. Yeah. Wastegate. Damn. Mike, we got Tisha. Get it, Tisha. Tycoon, Omar. With love. To all, I like that name, but that with love to all guy got mad at us last time. I don't know, he was dropping some wild comments there. I told him he was an enigma there. Ron Campbell, Ash, don't panic, just Hispanic. I have no idea what that means, but it rhymes and I happen to like it. Shout out to my man there, Mr. Hispanic. Last one, we got the O freaking G, Kirk D. Shout out to everybody. I hope everybody's having a fantastic morning. The boys were absolutely killing it today on the morning show. What a ride, bro. Up, down, sideways. Joseph, my goodness.
Yeah, again, YB, I heard this is real hot right now, guys, so we'll take a look at YB. What exchange is under? Okay, yeah, the NQ just IPO'd. We just opened up on, and it's already halted. Wow. Good stuff there. I can't even pull anything really up on this thing. Let's pull up NBA Youngboy right here, YB. NBA Youngboy. I don't even have a candle or anything along those lines, just a volume signature right here, Sharif.
Yes, sir.
And then a blank screen. So there it goes, YB. There it is. But enough.
The Katina Man.
Let me get one of those. Yeah. Come on, man. Let's go.
Great morning, Katina. Oh, that was actually good, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Bro, just did a little run in the rain yesterday. Hey. Much of it, other than that, didn't get too much of a workout. But enough is enough. We want to talk about what we were trading this morning, guys, and that was SoFi. Earnings day 2. My guy Obi likes to trade multiple earnings day after, so do I. So let's take a look at SoFi and see what we got cooking up. All right, guys, this is key. This is why we talk about risk to reward often and why it's really important to just get out of trades when you're supposed to. What's up, why not, my guy? Pillow Hands Haney. Who's that, Jose Villa? That's none of us. John Root killed it today on NVIDIA puts overnight, then SQQ puts this morning. Let's go, 23.
I got to say something quick.
Cover it up.
YB's open, guys. The IPO YB is now open. It is halted to the upside. Here it is. Sorry, I know we got to go to Adara, but I just got to cover this super quick. This is CEP.
Tap is at 30 right now.
The tap, I don't even have the tap here, Joseph. We're going to have to flip 30. To the 1 minute over here. YB, guys, halted to the upside, 23. Okay, sorry. Adara, go ahead.
I have info on YB. Yeah. So I mentioned this earlier in the morning when this IPO was first mentioned, but so it was priced initially to open at $15 versus the range of 13 to 15. So it was already priced or expected to open here on the high end of the range. We actually opened around $21.65, so well above that expected price of $15. Wan Bao, which is the name of the company, YB, they raised $30 million. This is a Chinese company, so they offered 2 million American depository shares. That's right, 2 million shares on the table here for YB with a $30 million IPO. Again, $21.65 is where this IPO opened after being priced at $15. That's the details for YB. I went over it earlier today. Always worth noting, going over it again. And we've just opened back to the guys.
There we go.
All right, let me cover this here quick
go
there.
ahead, Joseph.
Sharif, Jose Villa, absolutely we're going to be watching those fights this weekend. The tap on YB, let me pull it up to you guys. Enough of SoFi. We'll get into that because we have the whole show to talk about it. But here we go. YB, NBA Youngboy, just continuing to climb higher here. Now up 73%, 78%. Just be cautious on this, guys. Look at the volatility within that name. You're fluctuating a point like it's nothing, like it's your day job. So just be cautious on this potential ticker, and you don't want to get caught in a halt on the opposite side of this trade, all right? Because next thing you know, the tap, you get in at the highs here around 25, and the tap is like at 50.
We're doing it live here, Joseph.
Are you in it?
We're $3 in the money, baby. Let's go. We're taking it out here. We're doing it freaking live, Joseph.
Bang.
There we go. We punched in at 26, best level. I had that 27s, but it opened up. The spread is wild, Joseph.
Yeah,
so now I know what Adair is dealing with on a daily basis. I tried to get out at 28s. It wouldn't give me 28, so I had to chase it down, but we ended up taking the second dollar club already. One on CP, one on YB. Shout out to my man ATS who says we're high on you know what. No, man, this is just energy, baby.
This is energy.
All right, we're doing it live over here.
It feels good. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
I had coffee, and I don't even really drink coffee that much.
I have
so
a
there we
lot.
go. He has a lot of coffee.
Yeah, I do.
You see, I very rarely take one, but I felt like having some coffee this morning. But here we go, guys. Let's get into this SoFi trade here and see what we got going on. Entry one, we start really small, okay? Entry, we get stopped out of that one. We take a small loss on this. I'm like, okay, we got our next signals. They've displayed themselves. We're ready to trade back towards the volume weighted average price. Add aggressively on this trade. Get stopped out. I'm like, okay, patience. If the market is going to turn around, I know I'm trading some fintech. It may not be the best trade of the day, but I'm like, let me give this one more attempt. And sure enough, Sharif, we give this one more attempt, and we build into the most size on this trade, giving us the best risk to reward.
I saw him do it. I saw him do it live.
Entry one. Add 100% right there, and then an additional 25% add right there onto that size. So again, I was initially red. I started 0 for 2. Third trade makes you green. That's what is key to risk to reward. So you can see we built in nice, and then we just slowly start to take it out as we climb towards the volume weighted average price. And then now we're taking some more out right there. And there we go with YB. Is it now halted
to the downside, Joseph?
Exactly. And this is why you don't want to be chasing this underlying. Look at the top, 23. We're trading at 24s right now. It fluctuated from 70% up to 60%. Just be cautious on this ticker, all right? There's not enough data for me to trade this one, so I am absolutely avoiding it. Sharif, you killed that. That is absolutely monstrous on that one. So way to even take that trade, because I personally would not even be looking at this ticker for a couple of days. Maybe if we just can get that continuous up move, but I don't love it. What I do want to focus on here, guys, is SoFi. That's going to be the trade of the day for me. It was down almost 10% at one point. Now we're only down 6%. Looking to continuously climb here. You know what I'm going to do. I only had 2 tickers on my notes this morning, guys. 2, that's it. And I was like, okay, let me hyper focus on these specific names and see if we can get some trades based off of them. SoFi, number 1 idea. TQQ's number 2 idea, all right? So there it is. You've seen it. We stuck to our game plan, and now we're continuing to climb higher here in SoFi Street.
All right, shout out to Coach Hartman. Thank you very much, my man, for the 12.85 euro super chat. Thank you very much. Very kind of you. He says, my 1% tip for the boys. Printed in 60 seconds with YB. Guys, I really want to stress, and I say this all the time, and I hate to sound like a broken record, but it's really incumbent upon me because I trade these. They're around for a good time, not a long time. Be super careful with them. If you don't trade these often, you know, these really volatile names, you know, maybe it's not the cup of tea, all right? So my thinking here was super simple. It was on an explosive breakout. As I've mentioned many times, I think that the explosive breakout on these small cap gapper-like stocks is the best part to get in. You don't need to get in at the highs. There's always these micro pullbacks in the breakout. For example, when this did pop up through 26, it actually popped up into 27. I waited until it pulled back into 26 because it had broke out, guys, from 23. So a pullback from 27 to 26 ain't that much. It was halted at 23, I think high 80s, mid 80s. So that's exactly what I did there. And I got plenty of slippage. I mean, I had almost $28 there on that last out, but it was just awfully spready. So I couldn't get that last out on this one. I want to see what it does. It's obviously in vogue right now, up 61.33%. So it's got a lot of eyes on it. We've seen how these IPOs have been trading lately, your core weaves and some others. Let's see if this one wants to act like them. It's already up 61 1/3, as I mentioned. CEP, shout out to my girl Tisha in the chat. This one, very similar. It's not as spready, obviously, as YB. It's already done about 4.1.5 million shares there. So this, to me, was a bull flag continuation. For whatever reason, this one wanted to start getting its footing under it around 9 o'clock. At 9:30, it does a nice, 10:30, it does a little big pump there. It takes out 33, which had been a consolidation level in the pre. Look at that sideways chop that we had from essentially 6 a.m. till we dropped at 8:40. So that 33 level, we couldn't shake it. We couldn't take it. So once this broke 33, I was all eyes. I didn't want to punch in at the top, so I said, let this bull flag first. I got it out once it started breaking out for the second bull flag, and I'll submit to you, we are on the second bull flag on CEP, this being the first. A big pop-up from 32 into 35.5, a consolidation area. We know what that flag pattern looks like. You're going to get that sideways chop after that big move up, which is the pull part of the flag. Second bull flag over here, that 35.5 break. That was the top end of the range of the initial bull flag. And now we're zagging between 39 and 37.5, creating yet a second bull flag. Whether or not we get a third, impossible to know. Obviously, you can try to make educated guesses based on the level 2 and the size posted at different levels. So keep your eye out on this one. I think CEP, it's been in vogue for a hot minute. It's in vogue again today, and hopefully we'll execute a little bit better on it and hold some more here, Joseph. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at. I'm just going to show the small cap gappers that I've got here on the side chart super quick before we send it back to you. Look, guys, it's kind of late today in small cap gapper world. We don't have a triple-digit winner, right? And we haven't had a triple-digit winner for a while. Actually, that's incorrect. RGLS is up 132%, but it's a buyout. So it's very, very sideways. All right, so here's the deal. I'm keeping an eye on IVF, but as you can see, it's trading below that white line. So that's a volume-weighted average price. Going to have to get above there. CAP, I already talked about. That's top middle of your screen. Then CNF. See how it's rejecting that white line? That means it's trading below VWAP. I want nothing to do with it until it can get above and stay above VWAP. Weight Watchers, I'm 0 for 1 on this one. I ended up losing about 5-6 pennies. I tried to take the pullback into VWAP and then getting stopped out. I'll show you guys that trade in a second. Below the 50 exponential. I gave it to 90 pennies. So we're 2 for 3 on the day. I didn't mention that Weight Watchers trade. Now, the other one here, AREB, we want that ARAB money. This one is kind of looking like it's going to flat bottom break. Lower high, lower high, lower high, finding support at VWAP. This one looks like it might want to give up the ghost. I need to see more. I need to start seeing some higher highs here on AREB for this to run. But AB frickin' EO. Beautiful look. Not the biggest percentage winner on the day, only about 21.75%. But look at that buy program move up. This is just beautiful. Stair stepping up, very respectful of the 10 exponential moving average on the 5 every time it dips in or pulls back into that 10 EMA on the 5. It does find support, at least for now. So keep your eye out on this one. I like it possibly around 6 1/3, maybe 6 1/4, really depending on where the 10 EMA is when it pulls back in. So ABEO, definitely going to be keeping an eye on that. Got a couple more here, Joseph, sorry. NGD, another big move up by NGD, but not a big percentage mover. Again, only up 11 3/4, but a nice move up and very bull flaggish. The bull flag looks awfully bullish. Reason is, look at that higher low pattern. So the flag is not even consolidative or compressing. It's an upward channel. That's how I perceive it. So let's see if we can do something on NGD. And then what the hell? ODD. Yes, ODD have this one on here. It's a bit more expensive, guys. It's up about a little less than 20%, trading around 56 bucks. Another one that's been very respectful of that green line on your chart. That's a 10 exponential. Wow, CEP just flew up, bro. Look at this. It just took out 40 bucks into 41. CEP is flying, guys. It's up 25%. It's taking out levels like it doesn't even matter. Here comes that 41.5 here on CEP. We got nothing on, man, at this moment. I'm sitting here doing all this analysis, and this thing is running. CEP on one, guys, so keep your eye on that. ODD, the second last one over here, and then UVIX. I'm just keeping my eye on the VIX, given the volatility on the day.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's trading 40 bucks. UVIX, UVXY, take your pick. It doesn't matter. UVXY is a little bit cheaper than UVIX, so if that makes a difference to you, one's trading in the mid-40s, one's trading in the low 30s, so you can size in a little bit more on the other one, Joseph.
Yeah, beautiful stuff there, guys. I'm loving everything on today. I mean, It's been a fantastic morning, guys. You've seen what we had going on in SoFi. So that was one of our better trades of the day. I mean, it was actually 1 for 3, Sharif. So I'm shooting at 33% accuracy. And still have the ability to stay green. And I think that's just kind of a skill that it takes some time to acquire. Do you think we're done shorting for the day, says Remit? No, to be honest with you, I'm actually looking for an additional short signal. And you know what I was telling myself yesterday? You guys know exactly what I mean. I don't hide anything to you, even though I don't display it to you guys from a swing standpoint, long-term standpoint, and you can even see my intraday trading throughout the day as I post it on X. By the way, go follow me there, TraderTV Joseph, and see where we go. I'm posting options chain stuff every morning, and as well as the trades and kind of generally what's happening in them. But again, what I really want to focus on here, guys, is just sticking to the game plan, risk to reward. I give myself 3 strikes and then I'm out. If I was wrong that last time on SoFi, then I wouldn't have attempted it anymore. And yeah, most definitely I would have been frustrated. But again, stuck to the plan. Earnings day 2. We really like this trade here, so that's why we're sticking to it. So sorry. Finally, thank you, someone trading SoFi. Yeah, we're in this. And congratulations, Stevenson. I'm glad that you're killing that. And hopefully you hit that 30-day goal. That would be absolutely epic. And then most definitely display it here in the chat. But yeah, let's go, guys. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to add. See, the thing is that we always got to find ways to get better. So we'll break down this trade. We add up here and we get stopped out. But I had multiple opportunities to add, especially within a strong market. I should have took an additional, I should have added some here, whether it be 10%, 15%. Start small and then start building your way up. And I think that's just the way it is. Whether it be 10 shares, 15 shares, 20 shares, just put them in and get comfortable within, and that's how you have the ability to kind of just grab more and grab more and grab more eventually down the road. But yeah, that was the narrative, guys. I was like, okay, I'm wrong here. Had this. Oh, sorry, I didn't get that one there. Yeah, I'm tapped in. So give me an earpiece test there, guys, but we're going to send to Adara.
On TER, this is on watch here. This is company's called Teradyne. We have Banyan Hill, which is a publishing company, and they claim they're America's #1 source for smarter, safer, more profitable investing. So it's basically an investing-related publisher. Banyan Hill saying that TER is a long idea, saying that the company is providing the essential tools for both the AI hardware revolution and the automation imperative. So TER on watch here, a long idea from Banyan Hill. Trump's cabinet meeting is supposed to be happening right now. I'm not seeing many comments coming out of that. We did have Agriculture Secretary Rollins saying that everything is on the table when it comes to tariffs. That was a while ago. Other than that, not much. It is worth noting, too, Elon Musk is supposed to be at this cabinet meeting as well. Back to you.
When it drops, that's when you get in.
That's when exactly. You get in on the breath of the
This is what he does, like 99% of the time.
Okay, so let's break this down, guys. So I was just thinking to myself, I had a game plan here on NVDA, but then I was just thinking to myself last night, okay, we got the likes of Bitcoin working out relatively well for us, but look at NVDA's daily chart. And I'm like just thinking to myself, why am I trying to gain something that isn't necessarily working right now? Why am I trying to force something that may not be displaying itself? So for me, I'm like, okay, maybe I might just get out of NVDA because I truly don't need this noise in my day-to-day life. I would rather trade things that are trending. I don't want to sit on hopes and prayers being, oh, okay, let's see if we can sit on the backside of this trend, blah, blah, blah. No, let me find something that's working and then try to join on that continuation competition and with everybody else, with all the other participants. So I'm like, okay, we get back to break even here on NVDA. I might be like, see you later. I've been in this trade for a couple, about just under 2 weeks now. It's a swing trade. It's not a long-term investment. So I might just get out of it. Like, see you later. I'll find something else because there's plenty of other tickers. And you can see from NVDA's daily, it's not really doing anything. Look at the channel that it's trading in. It's in a downwards. So there we go. Exactly. No smoking hopium. And that's not what we want to do, right? Because it's just like I'm sitting in this for 2 weeks, and essentially I've just been fluctuating in this range. If it's going to sit on the backside of this trend, then I'll have the opportunity to get right back into it. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to hold any loyalty to any stock whatsoever because they don't care about us. And therefore, I don't really care about you. And that's how I truly feel.
I feel it. I feel it. I like that. I like the flexibility that you're bringing there, bro. You're not trying to be stubborn for no reason, for the sake of being stubborn.
Like, no,
I do like that.
That gets you nowhere in this game if you're going to be stubborn because you have no influence on what the actual underlying is doing.
No,
zero.
No. But you can have convictions about, like, you know, fundamentals. I think technicals, you got to be super fluid. The price is what it is, and there's nothing you can do about that.
Being stubborn is just not admitting that you're wrong and something that at the moment is not working out for you.
100% agree. There he is, the Chilean nightmare, man. We love him, bro. We love him. Look at him. He's always killing it. All right, guys. CEP is a wild one. It's a wild one. It broke out bigly, taking out 37. 8, 9, 40s, 41, touching 42. Goodness gracious. CEP, all that though, it's still up only 22%. This is a multi-day runner, guys. Flip to the daily, have a look at this. It's been putting in those higher highs and higher lows. Somebody's accumulating something here. And the reason I say that confidently is because we know what the daily typically looks on these small cap gappers. They have very small bodies and very high and upper and lower wicks because they're around for a good time, not a long time. Wow, CEP, it's dropping aggressively. All right, this is the 10 exponential over here. This is my low. Oh, see, doesn't let me in, bro. That's the thing. Oh man, I'm just too slow. I need those one keys. I want to see a little bit more over here. 30, 38s. I tried to get 37s because that's a 10 exponential moving average on the 5. It's having trouble with 38s, and there it goes above 38s. Okay, so the spread over here kind of creating difficulty for me to get in the chat. No, Dara, it's creating difficulty for me. She doesn't like the difficulties, but she enjoys the spread. We're going to respect that. That's good. All right, so we're going to keep an eye over here. So what CEP just did is it came back off that $42 high day, quick as you like, all the way down into that 10 exponential moving average on the 5, and it wicks right up. It's got a good looking, I don't want to say it's a hammer candle right now because the body's still pretty big, but it's a nice bottoming tail candle so far. You can kind of see that manifested, and now we're knocking on the door of 39. So that's $2 just like that off the 10 EMA that I wasn't able to get into. That's okay. We're not going to get upset about that. We'll look to, to do some damage on a different one. And here's another one that I've got for you guys, ABEO. This one had a whole bunch of selling at $6.50. It just took out that seller there with a high day now of $6.62. Another one that's been very respectful, meaning that it bounces off, it pulls into that 10 exponential moving average on the 5. If I can show the black charts over here and make my case. ABEO, here it is. So we'll be using e-signal obviously now. And you can kind of see, whoa, what did I do there? What did I do? There it is. There we go. So you can kind of see all the pullbacks into that green line right there, respected, not breaching, not even a wick or a close, and then boom, right out on, right back to the high side again. So ABEO, another one that I want to keep my eye on, much like CEP. But there's more, guys. There's ODD, there's RGC. I forgot to mention RGC. Let me bring that one in here. Shout out to whoever mentioned that to me in the chat because I didn't have eyes on this one either. So show yourself, RGC. There we go. All right. So this one did topping tail, RGC that is. So it was halted, I believe, at 56 bucks thereabouts, which made sense that was a level of resistance given that topping tail candle that manifested with the highest volume print on the day at around 10.55. That was as good as the shorts could do, because they got blown through after that, dollars by dollars. So this, as I mentioned, halted at 56 bucks. After the halt, it opened up at about 59 and change. weaseled all the way up into 63, but RGC, another very spready ticker. It's moving like 30, 40 pennies at a time between bid and ask, so be careful, size in correctly, use proper stop placement. So those are the ones I'm looking at right now. I really like the look of ABEO's jib, likewise with CEP, and then RGC, if it can calm the hell down and come into a good technical area, we're going to get involved with this one, Joseph. But for now, just staying on my hands, looking for the next trade.
Absolutely, absolutely. There we go, guys. I mean, what a signal this could be here on the cues for a potential move back towards the volume-weighted average price. Inverted hammer right there. The one thing that we will note is that that volume by time profile isn't exactly how we want, but you can see that this trend is still to the downside. This could just be a cover rally, but if we blow this top up, then we might continue to the top side. So I'm just going to wait. Hopefully we can catch a little bit in the midst of this candle, and then I'm going to look to go long on SQQ here, guys. So yeah, let's get this move up here, but this is a really, really nice short signal, and I'm going to be paying high levels of attention on it specifically because I want to short this market, and I believe it's still going to be a short throughout the day, but I could be wrong. A nice cover rally. If there's any specific names that you guys want us to go over, just let me know in the chat. We'll do some technicals on it and see what we got cooking up. But right now we're going to continue to sit in this SoFi. You can see I'm bidding at 12.50. That's not too good because I had the options chain pulled up on it. So if we do get into those levels, I'll be slightly surprised. But there's nothing crazy from an overhead standpoint. There's just somewhat of a balance here on the open interest on the put and call side. So right at 12.50, we have 11,000 on the puts and then 8,000 on the call side. But right at 13 is where we see a little bit more and start to increase on the call side. 13 strike price, we got 7,000 on the call side and then 15,000 on the put side. But then as we climb in increments here, 22,000 open contracts at 13.5, and then at strike 14 we got 30,000. So there is overhead resistance, guys, that can be coming into this name, and you can see it was a much more tough of a grind compared to some of the other names. So there it goes, that short signal in the cues coming right into play, guys. What a beautiful, beautiful signal. We have 2 super chats. All right, let's see what we got going on. Thank you for that one, Andre. Thanks again. This time, CEP, the old in and out. All right, 15 euros. We like that one from Coach
That was the
Hartman.
second one he dropped there, too, by the
Coach
way.
Hartman,
Yeah.
much appreciated, my friend. And then YB is now listed. Can you take a look, please? Absolutely, Ben Weiss. Any relations to Steve Weiss? I don't think so. But that's okay. We'll take a look at YB here, guys, to see what we go on. Yeah, I like Steve, too. The judge always gives him a hard time.
Yeah, he gives everybody a hard time. He's the judge.
He's the judge, but more or less Steve. And sorry, Scott. Yeah, but Scott gives him a hard time. I remember Scott was laughing at him when he bought NVDA at $400, and then it later traded to $1,000. And he's like, what's going on? Then he sold it not too long ago, I believe, out in that front. But here we go, still up 35%. I mean, we were talking about this name when it was up 70%. Now that's taken a 50% haircut essentially here. So that is not a good look. I mentioned that I don't necessarily. Sharif took a nice scalp on it, but I want no part in this name right now. Look at this volatility, Sharif.
Yes, sir.
And you can see that the spread as well, too, guys. That's like a 50, 60 cent spread at sometimes. I know Adara loves that, but this is a $19 name, and I don't want to see a 50-cent spread. So, again, if
you don't like 50-cent spreads on $19 names?
No, I'm not the biggest fan of them, but I know Adara might find a way to navigate these. But again, start really small and just be prepared. If it decides to go in the opposite direction, then you're probably going to take a loss on that front. And if you get caught in the opposite end of the halt, that is not a good look. That is not a good look. So yeah, just be cautious trading this name, Sharif.
Yes, sir. Are we going to Adara? Or no?
I didn't get that.
Okay, yeah, no worries. I'm looking for a possible dip trade here on CEP at the volume weighted average price. I put it at 36 and a quarter. It's at 36.55. Anything below that 36, I'm going to have to let it go, okay? Because this is just too wild for me to be able to nurse. So I'm keeping my eye on it. I don't have my hard stop in right now. I'm waiting for that dip trade to either trigger or for the stock to move back up, or to trigger and then get stopped out, obviously. There does seem to be a buyer at around the 2/3 of a dollar to the $0.50 over here. If we do get a bump up, I don't know if I chase this one. I'm looking for a dip trade off the volume weighted average price, but there is buying coming in and around here. That's fine. It does make sense that the buyers would step in a little bit ahead of VWAP. As you've heard me say many times, I sometimes front run the levels because sometimes it becomes a crowded trade, and meaning that other people are going to be looking to front run the level that you're looking at. If you're looking at it, maybe Joe's looking at it, Neil's looking at it, you get it. And so other people are looking at it, and so the price doesn't drop quite to that level that you anticipated it would. And that's what we're getting right now, because this is already $1 higher than we just. So it didn't let me in. It did come into the 40s, the high 40s. That's it. And then now it's popping up yet another $1 there. But this gives you dollars at a time. I mean, so let's not get too excited about this green candle that's currently manifesting on the 5. It is still technically a lower high. So let's keep an eye out on that one. ABEO continues to run. It's taking out 84s. I saw a guy in the chat. His name was Joseph too. He's like short ABEO. It's just like, all right, I didn't really want to say anything to him, but you know, these small cap gappers, if you're trying to short at highs, trying to catch mean reversions, sometimes it can be a bit of a tougher trade. I would rather just go with the trend rather than trying to guess when the trend is going to end, right? The trend is your friend to the end until it bends. Shout out to my man, Obi. He is the one. Damn. Kenobi. He is behind me today. He's got the headphones on. He's doing his thing. 25. So shout out to my man, Obi. We're going to keep an eye out on ABEO. I'm seeing it's at the day's highs right now. But currently I'm waiting for either the dip trade to fill here on CEP or a 5-minute candle to make a new high on a closing basis. So currently, for that to happen, for the 5-minute candle to clear the previous one, we need a 39 closing print or higher, because the previous candle had a high of about 38 mid-80s. So that's what I'm looking for right now. If we can get something above 39 on a closing basis or trigger at the volume weighted average price, that's my move. Otherwise, I'm staying clear, Joseph.
Yeah, I'm talking to Jay Lee.
You
know Jay Lee short the market here as well, too.
Yes.
So that's what I'm looking to do. Jay Lee, I'm being a little patient on this one just in case that indecision print does get blown past. We'll pull up the cues here for you guys momentarily to see what we got going on. And there we go. So yeah, I mean, if we break through this signal right here, so if we crack this high, then I'm just going to get out of that trade. I told you I was waiting for it to come back into the middle of this candle roughly, and hopefully we get some forms of rejections. But if NVDA and some of these big names want to continue to rally, then you don't want to be shorting the market. And I think that's something that I really started paying attention to a long time ago, is that like, okay, I would be trading the overall market, but I'm not paying attention to the heaviest weighted names. And I think that's something that we do. It's part of the due diligence. It's like, okay, yeah, you're shorting the Qs, but then the likes of the Mag 7 are all trading higher. That's not a good idea, right? So just make sure that when you're trading these vehicles, look at everything else around it and why it may be moving in that specific direction. Right now, with NVDA looking like it wants to crack the highs, Apple's still hovering around the highs as well too. I don't want to be fighting this trend until some other things are displayed. And if you see those signals go across the board in some of the big names, then that's just more confirmation within that setup, and then you can take that trade. It's more conviction. I want to see what Meta's up to as well too. So again, here up to 540.16 right now and hovering around this intraday high. If it cracks through this consolidation phase, then it can possibly continue to move higher and higher. I posted the range on X on what we can possibly see with this week's expiration cycle on the Qs via just the options chain. What is it telling us? Where is the highest levels of open interest on the call side, and where is it on the put side? And with that, we can gauge ranges and then base trades off of that. All right, so just there you go. Nightbot just put it in there. Bear vs. Bulls is gonna post it as well too. So just go and see what I'm posting there from a daily standpoint. I told you guys I'm going to be continuously doing that, but I'm waiting, Jay Lee. I want to take this short, but I want to be patient as well too, because we're still in these volatile markets, and I do believe that it's going to take multiple attempts to get things going. So I'm going to prepare myself to take a couple losses, dig into the profits, right, and then eventually, hopefully, get that move that we're looking for, the continuation to the downside, because I do believe that this is just a cover rally. There isn't that much strength in the green prints to the top side. You can see the orderly and the genuity in these prints to the downside, and I just want to follow that type of price action tree.
Shout out to Jeff Wolf asking me to look at ABVE. I happen to like the pattern on this one, at least on the 15. Let's have a look at it. He says, Sharif, can you look at ABVE? They announced a merger. So here's what he's talking about there. Let's just show the headline so we can follow along. Above Food, ticker ABVE, and Palm Global reach definitive agreement on merger. That makes a difference, guys, because we have a trade on the floor called a buyout trade, and it makes a difference whether it's a tentative agreement, a letter of intent, an LOI, a definitive agreement, exactly what the price is, because it makes a difference about how much shares you're punching in at what levels to anticipate the price rejecting or bouncing, right? So again, I'm not going to go through that kind of trade right now. It's not one that I typically execute, but one that we were taught here on the floor when we first started. So ABVE, good look, my friend, my man. Let me show the 15-minute chart on AB. Oh, this is the 5. Let me show the 15. There, so it's been an uptrend. Obviously, someone was accumulating up a storm. Yesterday, this had a good move. Did we have that headline yesterday? No, we didn't, man. Yesterday was, oh, hold on, excuse me, the 28th. Yes, we got that. No, that was the financial results. We got that this morning at 11 o'clock, but somebody was buying up a storm yesterday. So I'm not making any accusations, but I kind of am. So that good move yesterday, good move today. It's a bit more volatile. $1.85 high, trading at a $1.69 right now. Look, this $1.85 high, that is, I believe, the implied balance high, which means it was the highest print an hour after, from 9:30 to 10:30. So this manifested right at 9:30. So technically it is a legitimate print, but I'd like to see this take out 185 before I get involved. It could be a crowded trade up here, given bag holders that could have punched in at the open on the market on open. I'm going to steer clear of ABVE for now, but good luck, my man. Shout out to you for pointing it out. I did have another person there, Trader to Thrive. Could one of you, Sharif or Joe, please poke ULY with a stick or something? I can't do that for you, but I can look at the technicals. ULY was one that I was trading yesterday. It had a fantastic day. Yesterday was trading at about $7 when we first started. It weaseled up to about 11, almost 12. So it was a good higher low, higher high pattern. Today, we continue yet again. So we hold yesterday's lows, we make new highs, everything is hunky-dory in ULY world, which is urgent.ly. What the hell does this company do? I need to know. Provides digital roadside and mobility assistance technology and services. Okay, sounds like 1985. All right, so the deal is it's trading below the volume weighted average price. So I need this to weasel up above VWAP for me to get involved. So it's got some support here, which I wouldn't have got in, but it's obviously got buyers at around 14 1/5, 14 1/4, once, twice, OB thrice, number 4, number 5, number 6. Somebody's buying it at 14 1/4. So if you want to take a dip trade for a possible range, have at it. That's not really how I trade these small cap gappers. I trade them as breakouts. So keep an eye out on this one. VWAP at around 1585, just south of 16. I'll submit to you, though, the level will be 16, given this topping tail candle at 11 o'clock, which did reject 16 on the dot, like exactly on the dot. So ULY, just, yeah, look for that 14 1/4 Trader to Thrive. If you can get 14 1/4 again, I think you can do well. You can do well here. 14 1/5, 14 1/4. Let me know how it goes, my man. Keep an eye out on that one for you. ABEO, continue to put in higher highs and higher lows here, Joseph. I think it's time for me to get involved. We're going to take small size here to start, and then we'll look to add into the position here if we can take out the high of the day. I got 71s. Adara's got breaking news. She's hyped up. I'm very hyped up to find out what's going on. Uh-oh, we saw the trumpet.
We've seen it. Send it.
Get it, Adara.
Trump's cabinet meeting. He said, we have to talk here about the GDP. He said they were so-so numbers, but he wants to say that this is not his administration's fault. He just said, and I quote, we took over his mess, of course, referring to former President Biden, saying that this GDP print has nothing to do with their admin, but he does acknowledge that the print was so-so. It's worth noting that his trade advisor, Peter Navarro, earlier today actually said that it was the best red print he's ever seen. Trump's also saying that even though they were inherited very bad numbers, they've turned them around. So lots of comments coming here out of President Donald Trump at his cabinet meeting. I'm listening to this meeting. If I hear anything of note, I'll let you know. He's talking a lot about tariffs. Back to you.
Oh boy, I see him. He's got his chair. He's got Hexeth on the right, probably Rubio on the left. I can't tell because I can't see his face, but that's usually, it's state on one side and defense on the other. Isn't it how it goes, guys? I mean, tell me, the Americans will know. What's that, Adara? Yeah, Adara echoing that. So Donald is live now. So watch out.
So watch out.
All hell can break loose,
honestly,
right? We know what this guy does.
Flatten everything. And just wait until he's done talking here. I mean, okay,
he's blaming Biden for
is he? Yeah, I mean, again, but that's what just happens when you win so much. When you lose, you still think it's winning, right? So, I mean, that's how it is.
He doesn't lose, Joseph.
Shout out Sean O'Malley, who lost and still believe he won. But that's okay. Here we go, guys. Niraj, you asked multiple times, do I believe that this is a short? I can't really say, right? You got to think for yourself. Do you want to be shorting into this? I don't know. Maybe, possibly. You have to. At what point is this price action telling you to short? Where do you see indecision? What is the tape telling you? What is the price action prints telling you? And if you see a short, then go on and take it. Unfortunately, we cannot trade for you. So, Niraj, I looked at it. You say it one more time, I'm going to have to put you in the corner, unfortunately. That is timeout, and we don't want to have to do that. So here we go.
Dang.
Like, just ask yourself, what are you seeing that tells you that this is a short? You can see that you're continuously climbing higher. Could it be just somewhat of a cover rally here? So, yeah, just wait for those indecision prints. Wait for the price action to tell you. Wait for the tape to tell you this is ready for a short, and then you can base a trade off of that. I'm not even looking at SMCI, to be honest with you. I don't trade it well whatsoever. So I was just like, see you later. I want nothing to do with this name whatsoever. So there you go. That's SMCI. You can see that the chips are continuously climbing higher, and that's not going to be good for my short, all right? So I'm long TQs, synthetically short the market. Let's see what Adara's got for us.
Oh, Lunatic is talking.
Keep an eye on TSM because Donald Trump and Howard Lutnick are talking about it. Donald Trump said that Howard Lutnick visited the site here of TSM in Arizona and basically talking for Lutnick said that it was the best site that he's ever seen. He's never seen anything like it. Howard Lutnick boasting about TSM's investment, which is over $100 billion into the U.S. So just be aware, TSM dropping a little bit here, being discussed very heavily so far in this cabinet meeting, specifically by Donald Trump and Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick. Back to you.
Thank you for that, Adara.
Thank you. One more thing here, Sharif, before I send it back to you. I do want to add to this position, but you can see that it's a really slow grind right now, guys. So this is essentially what my risk profile is defined. We crack that high, I'm out. We break it to the low side, then maybe we add to the position, but I want to see what some of the bigger names are up to. If NVDA is going to continue to grind higher as well as some of these other big names, I don't want to be adding into these positions. So I'm going to be cautious on what I do on this position, but we are still sitting in about roughly like 5% of my SoFi trade, not even that probably. So a little bit less than, so about 5-6% or so. So I will be holding on to that otherwise until we hit that break-even stop. But I'm in this TQ short, SQ long, and we're going to see if we can get a break back down towards the volume-weighted average price.
All right, my man. There we go. Just throwing in a stop there. On IVF, good breakout trade. Going to risk a little bit here. We'll see if it wants to take out 3. It was just knocking the door of 3, so I got long high 80s. There's a seller at 90 though, so the 10 penny level here acting as a key area of technical resistance, and then there's multiple areas above 90 that we can't shake. 91s and 92s. There's sellers on both levels, guys. So trouble here for the long unless we can shake this seller at 92. So we'll do that to de-risk. Let's see if we can take out 92s. Huge size here, unable to shake that level on IVF on 92. Now this has a 320 high a day, so I was expecting the resistance to come in a little bit higher, more around that 3. It's still zigging and zagging. It's got a midday break over here, so we'll see if we can take out that 92 level. I did take out some there on the pop just to de-risk. Now that seller at 90 is back. This is not what I want to see over here. This is definitely not what I want to see. I don't want to see resistance coming in at this level over here. So what I'm going to do, flatten out, break even, look to get a dip trade on that 270 level. Excellent flattening there. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but that was obviously a level that was not going to get shaken. So I'm looking for that 270, two high 60s. We got to go back to Adara.
Donald Trump saying that China is getting hammered. We have this big move here with regards to the economy. He said the biggest ships you've ever seen, the biggest ships in the world, excuse me, are coming here. They're leaving with cargo. So lots of talk here about trade, specifically, I guess, with regards to China moving this market. It is interesting, though, that we do have Donald Trump saying, regardless of his comments here about the big ships in China, that it saddens him to hear about China's poor economic state because he does respect President Xi, but he says he does not want the U.S. to follow China's footsteps. He wants every country to do well. Back to you.
Adira?
Big ships.
Big ships.
Ships.
Just making sure.
Just
Yeah.
making sure. Hey, I'm out, right?
Okay.
Like, see you later. Trump, you can't, that's the thing, unless you're positioned really, really well and you're in the money.
Get him, Donald.
Hands off when this guy's speaking because you don't know what's going to happen. I tried the short here in the market, didn't work back towards the volume weighted average price. We'll take one more stab at it. I told you guys that it may take multiple attempts, but you can't, like, that's the thing. When is this over? When is he done speaking?
I like it, Joseph.
I know you like it.
Yeah. Get him, Donald.
Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. In this case, you know how I am, Sharif. He stopped me out. I don't like him.
That's it. He's in your crap book for at least a week.
I get in again, and he says something to tank the market, then I like him. We're back on good terms. That's the case, right? But right now, he's frustrated
This
me.
guy,
so
man. You're so much like my old man. It's crazy, bro. It's like you're either in your good books or you're public enemy number one. There is no in between.
It's just like that.
Yeah.
It's easy to fluctuate from good and bad terms, and there's nothing wrong with that, all right? So we got to work on our relationship, and
I
that's
like
what we
it. I
gotta
like
do.
it.
But we're going to stick in this SoFi name. We really like SoFi right now, guys. You can see that I have an order posted with the market continuing to climb higher. Maybe we get this bounce and that target that we want here in SOFI.
All right, guys, I'm keeping an eye on it. I've got it live over here. Hegseth dropping hot lines. He's speaking right now. People were chuckling. I guess Donald made a joke of some kind. Everybody liked it. They all had a laugh. It was a moment of levity. Everything's fine. All right. No, I have no idea whether everything's fine, guys. We're going to have to keep an eye on these here markets. But I'm involved in a trade right now, IVF. I've been dancing with this one. So here we go. We just got the dip trade finally. All right. Give me some here. Give me some. All right. So we'll take out some there at 80s. Nice. Now we got 75. It's showing me 82s. Bro, come on, let's go. Give me some up in the mid-80s, my boy. We're going to wait 85s. We're going to wait for 85s. Let's see what we do here. The dip trade was off that $0.75. If it loses 70, it's all over on this one. It looks like it will lose 70. So I will have to flatten out here. Okay, so this one not holding up. Let me see what I'm going to do over here. Am I going to get back in at the volume-weighted average price? I think I might. It has had respect for VWAP as a resistance level, not necessarily support, though. I don't want to get cut up on this. I don't want to make mistakes that I don't need to make. So let's see what we can do over here. Let's give this one the old college try again. We'll get some up here if we can, and we'll layer the orders for a spike up. All right, so here we go. Let's go. We're 77s. Right now, boom. Are we going to get the print? Nope, not yet. We're going to have to wait a little bit. 79 is now showing up. It's going to have to cross for me to get the print. Certainly selling at every level here on IVF. So this might be a bit of a tougher trade. I don't know exactly how I feel about this one. It's got a lot of bamboozlement under it. Pops up to open there at 9, makes that high day 320, drops all the way back to 240. So this one feels like there's a whole lot of selling on this one. Can't shake them. That's my feeling right now on this. So we'll have to wait and see. We can get some out here. 79s again. There is the print. Boom. To the high side. Okay. So now we're taking it out. We're doing it live over here. Let's set some more up in the high 80s. Are we going to get 82s? We get 82s. Are we going to get 95s? So now I'm waiting at 96s. Go, you piece of you know what. All right, here we go. So now I'm going to break even on this one. I'm putting my stop at break even for the last remaining amount. We're going to look for that 90 print before we get anything. Showing me 88s now. So it's zigging. It's zagging. It definitely bounced off that volume weighted average price with some umph there. So we'll have to see if that umph remains. I've also got this trade, guys, that I haven't said much about. ABEO. It's a bit of a slower mover. I see this kind of bull flagging. I'm trying to build a position on ABEO into the 10 exponential moving average, but I've got to put an order out to take advantage of that in the mid 50s. So let's go ahead and do that now. We're going to sit over here in the mid 50s for a possible print there. Let's see what this one's doing. IVF, still haven't gotten anything there. Still waiting for either a stop out or a move into that 95s. It's showing me high 80s. Can't shake the sellers in the high 80s. And we saw this before in the low 90s. So the algo, I perceive this anyway, the algo that's trading this is posting size incrementally lower and lower and lower. We had low 90s that were the troublesome part. Now it's the mid 80s. Look at this at 85, very thickly traded at 85. So keep an eye on that one. Shout out to my man Oleg. Looks like YB stopped dropping and a third already traded. Let's have a look. Yeah, YB is continuing to put in lower lows and lower highs, my man. I want nothing to do with this for a long. It's going to have to be a short for me to even look at this. But I'm going to have to keep my eye on IVF as this one continues to zig and zag in the mid-80s over here, guys. We're going to go to Adair in a second as the cabinet meeting continues to unfold. Donald Trump with his entire cabinet. They've all got MAGA hats there.
Oh.
It says, hold on, what does it say? Gulf of America hats.
No.
They've all got different red and blue hats. I got to show this, Andre. I got to show this. All right, so these are all Gulf of America. Donald, enough, bro, for one day. You're killing me. Adara, what's happening?
Well, what's happening here is actually not Trump related. I just want to point out UNH. I'm not seeing any news on this, but UNH got a little bit of a spike with volume, tons of social media attention for United Health, which is moving to the upside. Humana on earnings moving sharply to the downside. So this is basically moving opposite to its peer in the health insurance space. Another health insurance named Cigna, or CI, reporting on Friday morning. Back to the Bash Brothers.
Thank you, Adara. Yeah, so we're continuing to watch. Who's this guy talking right now, Adara? Do you know who this guy is? The guy beside Lunatic.
All right, hold on, Sharif. Let me go.
Go ahead, Joseph.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Let's pull this up here, guys. Come on, we're going to catch this fill right now. I want you guys to see it. Let's see if we can get that ask to lift, the bid to lift. Here we go. We need 51s. Hit the bid, hit the bid. We're going to see if we can catch this fill right here. And it's continuously rejecting. We got a lot of size. You can see the imbalance here on the ask. So let's go. Push through that. As soon as that bid hits 1250, we're going to catch that fill. It wants to. And it, come on. I'm not going to hit the bang. I mean the boom, but I will hit a bang as soon as that bid hits it. So we're going to be patient on this front, but it's looking like it wants to get involved with this 1250, but currently rejecting it. So there we go, and you can see on the tape. Here we go.
Here we go.
Come on, bid. Hit the bid. That's why sometimes I don't mind getting bid. Come on, hit that bid.
Punk?
Yeah, exactly. CM Punk right there. All right. Yeah, let's go. There we go. And there's the fill. As we continue to climb higher, they're in SoFi. Wow, what a rip we just got on this there, Sharif. What a move all the way up from 1250 to 52s. And Pug Life has a super chat for us. There we go. And we caught that fill. It's okay. Now, I mean, Pug Life, we're still.
Pug Life?
I'm shooting a 25% accuracy, and I'm still positive on the day. I showed you guys all of them. Started 0 for 2 on SoFi. Put on this trade that I'm still currently sitting in. Took a long on SQs for that reversion back towards the volume weighted average price. Lost on that one. One trade correct. Still positive on the day, Sharif. That's how we do.
Bang.
So thank you very much for that $5 super chat, Pug Life, my guy.
Joseph, we're doing it freaking live over here on ABEO. We're about 25 pennies in the money on this one. Took the long initially at 70, added at 60, and I just got a print there in the high 80s. So good look here. Simultaneously, we're taking prints again on CEP. Your boy just got into the dollar club again on this one. 38.5. Took it out at 39.5 there. This one's going again, guys. CEP's on one. It's destined to take out 40. Here comes 40. There's no size posted there on the level 2 on the ask side of things. That doesn't mean it doesn't hold up at 40. I'll submit to you, there will be hidden sellers in and around there. And, you know, even though the 42 is the high of the day, you don't have many closing prints. You got one measly closing print above 40. So 40, the $10 level, likely to be the better technical area of resistance. So keep your eye on this one. I want to see if it wants to take out 40, baby. We'll take out more. But here comes ABO again to the high side. We still got shares on this one. We're going to post at 95 to front run the level at 7. Showing me 92s. We're long 63s. There's 94s, 95. Print. Boom. into the high side, Joseph Wilson.
Nice.
All right, baby. So we're doing it live here on ABEO, taking it out in front of 7. So let's see what this one wants to do with 7. It's 31.5 in the green right now. 31.5% I'm talking about. Weight Watchers is breaking out, Neil. Ooh. Big move out for Weight Watchers. It's 1 penny off the high of the day. The small caps are all freaking out right now like I am. Let me show you what I'm looking at over here, baby. Aw, come on. Oh, there we go. I know, so anticlimactic. Look at this. CEP breaking out. Weight Watchers breaking out. ABEO breaking out. It's a good look right now. Even your boy ODD is breaking out into the high of the day. So small caps are on one right now. ODD, yeah, you know me. Good look right now for all these small cap guys. But always, just because we're getting excited doesn't mean you can trade them haphazardly. Make sure you are managing risk soundly. Shout out to my man Zion. Lala. Joseph.
Yeah, let's go here. 2NY, I have no idea. I'm not even listening to it in my ear. I know Sharif's probably got a little bit of it going on. Adara's got us.
Adara's got us covered, yeah.
Got us covered on those consistent updates. So we'll be patient. If we have any news on what they're actually continuously talking about, then we'll bring it to you guys right away. First things first, Tesla plane says City Boy 305. You know, when I read your name, it just reminds me of this Snapchatter that lives in the city. His name's City Boy JJ, and it's just like, man, what's going on?
He's a Snapchatter?
Yeah.
Is that the only one you're going on, eh? Yeah, that an X? Yeah. That's why you don't like Snapchatter. You'll usually hear YouTuber, TikToker.
I mean,
rarely hear
I'm
Snapchat.
sure he's doing all of them at some point.
Is he doing it live?
He's doing it live. Oh, wow. We got a lot of notifications here.
Okay.
I feel like, yeah, but go check it out there. There's our SoFi trade.
Show him the trade, bro. That's a banger trade, bro.
There it is right there. This was from this morning. Just
I like how you have the description.
Yeah, just kind of just giving the display.
What happened to Dara?
Dara's going to got some hot news for us.
What
also
happened
pointed something else out. Here we go, guys. You can see I'm just starting to post the chain as well. Bless you. I'm starting to post the chain for you guys as well, too. So there you go. Go check me out on X and see what we got going on that front. But I can't wait to hear what Adara's got us. There we go. We're going to hear Let's Go SoFi. You see us continuously breaking out on that one. We're going to take a little bit more off the top for you guys. Adara, hold on. There we go. What do you got for us?
So that individual who we couldn't identify, he's Sean Duffy. So that is the Department of Transportation Secretary there. Donald Trump just went on a little talk here about contracting, saying that the previous administration wasted a lot of time with air traffic control. The system was so old, but now the new system is going to be something to behold. It'll be new, state of the art. But with regards to contracting, Donald Trump says it's going to be one great, big, beautiful contractor, just like the one great, big, beautiful bill. And he actually named 2 companies. He said, maybe we get IBM, maybe we get Raytheon. Both of these names are pushing higher. To be clear, he did not make any effort to say definitively either of these companies are going to be in talks. But either way, Donald Trump made it very clear for this new build, for the air traffic control reboot, they want it to be state of the art, and they want only one contractor. So whoever contractor gets this potential job could be definitely a move to watch. Either way, no one named, but mentioned here, Raytheon or IBM. Again, huge question mark, certainly just an option as of this point. Back to you.
Okay, yeah, guys, this is really working out pretty well for us here.
He's doing
on the SoFi trade here. Yeah, exactly. We're doing it super live. It doesn't get any more live than this, to be honest with you. So here we are, $1 trillion to the military, says Dinkelbird. Very, very interesting stuff.
A trilly.
But I mean, guys, we caught the bottom here nicely on SoFi. Let me get rid of this here for you guys so we can get that. We don't have to worry about that. So here we are. I mean, it took 3 attempts to really get the ball rolling. That short's coming in on the cues. I'm going to be patient, wait for one more pullback. Slow turtle shell over, so I do believe that we will get that pullback and hold that 471 level, and that's exactly what I'm looking for. So there we go. Being patient on this name. Been sitting in this since, what time is it that I hopped into this trade? 10 o'clock exactly there, Sharif, and now it's sitting around noon. So just letting things work, doing some charting, and I'm like, all right, if I'm positioned well, slowly piece it out, even though I did get out the bulk of the position throughout here. But again, just leaving some for for a runner, getting comfortable with that, and then just putting on the trades that we're supposed to. You can see that we're starting to run into some key support levels, so I wouldn't be surprised if we reject this 1250. But one thing I will hold on for is if we can squeeze and get to the top of this range, and then hopefully head towards these opening drives of the day. But here we go, SoFi putting up those numbers for us. You've seen Katina, man, flip from short to long on NVDA. Good idea, as that name was continuing to climb higher and higher, and he started to push some shares on that one. So nice work on that from Mr. Sean himself. But you can see it, guys. Entry one, add, and then we just slowly take it out as we climb higher. So there we go. SoFi was once down 8% on the day, now only down 5.5%.
That's nice. Yeah, that's good. I like that company. I've made that very clear. I like Robinhood as well. I think that what they're doing is the right thing, man. You got to get Gen Z on your side. We know where the money's going. You don't take the money to the other side. When you're gone, you're going to give it to somebody, whether it's a charity, you're going to bequeath it here or whatever there. So they're going to have money at some point. I'm talking about Gen Z. So you got to get them on their good side. They're the future. So I like what Robinhood is doing. I like what SoFi is doing as well, getting those clients on their side, kind of to set the stage for the future. You're not really seeing that from the big banks. I mean, we've talked about this. To get a meeting with a manager or whatever the entry is one of these larger banks, you got to have a net worth of over $1 million, probably even more. Certain banks,
right? Can I say something?
Yeah,
real
of
quick
course,
there,
Joseph.
Sharif?
Yeah.
KK14M. Yeah, it may seem that may be the case, but I want you to think it's all relative to the price of the stock. Whether it be Tesla or SoFi, you would have to risk a couple dollars on Tesla, and that's when you get that move. You got to understand, my risk on this trade is 6 cents. 6 cents. That is even quite a bit for SoFi. So there you go. With this entry, with a 1210, my primary entry, I'm out at the low. So we give it 8 cents. And then now you can see that we're trading at 53 cents. So just do the math. That's roughly a 5-to-1 right there. So it may look exaggerated, but when you break it down to its specific scale, then you can see that I'm risking 6 cents to get this, whether it be $1, $2 on whatever stock you're referring to. But let's see what.
No. Just before we go to Adara, guys, MSOS is breaking out. Shout out to the OG Darwin. I just want to mention he wasn't the only one to mention this. So weed apparently is starting to get high. Okay, Adara's got it. Weed's breaking out. It's at the highs. MSOS. Adara, tell us more.
Okay, I mean, yeah, well, we're going to do happening now, but I may as well just get straight to MSOS. Basically, I just want to mention here the whole market trending up off of these lows. Donald Trump making a slew of comments during his cabinet meeting, but MSOS, I've talked a lot about how Marijuana Moment is the publication that really moves these marijuana names. This is the second day in a row that has proven correct yet again. So today, basically what happened here was we have comments here coming, I guess, a Marijuana Moment article being published here. Let me find this headline once again. There's been lots of headlines today. Basically, though, apparently Donald Trump's pick for the DEA said that one of his first priorities when he starts is going to be considering a review of rescheduling. Again, this is in no way a set in stone statement, but either way, apparently a potential review here of the rescheduling for MSOS is going to be one of the first priorities for Donald Trump's new DEA pick. So keep an eye here on MSOS. We also have here on Watch SMCI. This one had a very, very weak situation here with regards to their preliminary earnings, much lower than expected EPS and revenue estimates provided. Also, IBM, I think, just being mentioned here once again by Donald Trump. IBM and Raytheon were two companies that Donald Trump just mentioned here as potential contractors for their air traffic control rebuild. Donald Trump said that he wants it to be one big contractor. He does not want this to be a group of contractors. So he said IBM or RTX could be potential companies that he's considering. But again, that sounds like it's completely potential. We have nothing confirmed there set in stone. And with that, we're going to send you over to Neil and his lesson of the day. Make sure to like and subscribe. Take it away, Neil.
Well, I mean, the lesson of the day has to be themed on something about those economic numbers. Like, there's no way fans are about to bet it. The V-shape that we saw here today, which while not completely back to the highs, it's still an impressive rally. So, okay, obviously this morning, I'm going to show you the shorts early were all fantastic. If you happen to have a bunch of shorts, and especially even at the open, you were able to grab some, that's great. But when the bottom came in, it was just unbelievable. And the velocity of the move was pretty impressive as well. So how can you think about, well, if you don't get the perfect long, where can you be looking long early And where can you be looking continuation long? What are the signs that you don't have to buy something after it's too far from the low? So one, where could you be looking early? And I shout out to Obi for this one. Because, and well, the chat as well, because there were a lot of people in the chat talking about how Pfizer was relatively strong. Now, remember we showed you that chart of the ES breaking lower? This is 9 o'clock, and Pfizer is already making a bottom. And this is 9:12. You're actually putting in a higher low. You're challenging yesterday's highs by the time you're getting to the open, and then you're holding all of these on dip support. So the entire time, this stock is showing you relative strength. Now, it's not going to be the big, massive $5 win or anything like that, but just the opportunity to look at something which held support the entire way. You never had to worry about it breaking any of your big support levels in the pre-market, which had been challenged when we had that slew of economic data, which was weak. That's one place that you can look. Find something that's just obviously relatively strong, and when it presents you with the buy the dip opportunity, when the market bottomed out there, well, you've got something that has a chance to go even if the market can't. And I always like that type of a scenario. The other way, which I'm sure most people would be a little bit more excited about, would be something like Robinhood. And in this particular case, relative strength, it's all relative, right? So when I showed you that chart of the ES, and you're making that fresh low here. Now, this is a 15-minute chart. I can show you, I can move this to a 3, so we're looking at about the same thing. What makes this double bottom here in Robinhood so appealing, or anything that looked like this, everybody, is you get the first bottom at the open, you're still trending down, and Robinhood makes a low at 46.25. When you're making that second bottom and breaking the trend, Robinhood's breaking back upside while holding the same low. So it's not often that you get a shot in something with explosive upside, right? Like this is going to give you a couple of dollars and trend up because you know it can move like this, where you're breaking trend in the futures and you're not having to worry about the low of the day breaking. It's all breaking. It's already got the support in there for you, and you're just sort of good to go. So if you're not able to find something which is so obviously relatively strong, like Pfizer was just holding above, at one point above yesterday's highs, at one point holding the pre-market lows very cleanly, then you want something which is holding on to not just a double bottom, but like a distinct double bottom, like one that gives you lots of room to run. It'd be one thing if it was like tight to VWAP or something like this, where you don't have as much upside, but when it's giving you almost a full dollar to get to first resistance and holding that double bottom and the confirmation of the trend break on the futures, that's something you can certainly sink your teeth into. So, I mean, great looks. And both of these two names, just for the record, both of these two names are names that the chat was all about. So when I'm doing the lesson of the day, it's not here to toot my own horn about the things that I figured out. It's about what did you learn from the market today? And to pretend that I was looking at either one of these two before going over the setups is a lie. But sometimes when you're reviewing your day, you can't just look at what you traded. What were the optimal opportunities in that type of a moment? Because how many times do you see that much economic data in the morning that was negative and you get these types of setups? It's not going to happen every day. Make sure you're going through everything that you can to find those optimal plays. That way, the next time you see something like it, you're locked and loaded and ready to go. Shorts were good early, but you wanted to find some banger long trades before it had already gotten to the top. And that's what this lesson of the day is all about. Whether it's already strong like Pfizer or presents you a great little double bottom like Robinhood did, despite the fact that futures are making lows, lower lows, it was making the same low and holding. So there's your lesson of the day, everybody. Good luck trading. This market is absolutely wild. Volatility is fun. Well, I mean, if you don't think volatility is fun, then you shouldn't be trading, I guess.
Oh, man, the production team is undefeated. Undefeated. I see you, Chilean Nightmare. I know what you're up to over there. I know what you're up to over there, Fabian.
Show the people. He's trying to hide it now. Don't hide it, Faye. Let's see. Hey, oh, wow, that's fantastic.
Oh, I actually love that, bro. I legit love that, man. What I'm playing that? Is that what you based it on?
Yeah.
Was that what it was based on? I love it.
That's fantastic.
That's awesome, dude. I'm definitely posting that. I love the real trading in the background. Trader TV Live, top left corner there. Look at all the screens and the punch. Yeah, that's the background.
There we go.
That's the background there. So that's Ramin's computer now, guys. So you're going to see Ramin behind us now.
Right now?
She's taking over Andre's computer over there. She's doing all the video editing. So that's her spot now. Good look. Apple's about to go flat, eh?
There she is. There's Ramin. There in her new spot. What do you got for lunch there? Let me see.
Guys, Apple is about to go flat. Let's have a look at the large caps right now because Apple is knocking the door of that 211 and a quarter, essentially the area where we went flat or where we closed out yesterday. So is this now a short on Apple? You're already seeing 2 topping tail candles into that level, and there it goes down again below 211. So you got a couple of topping tails, but let's not be so quick to want to put too much weight into one or a couple of candles. We saw this pattern before with the dead one Apple. Over here, 11.15 topping tail, much like the one that we just saw. Another one, 11.20 topping tail, and then we made our way back up. So the dead one Apple's got a great looking double bottom right at that 207 area. That was money. Now look, you did get wicked out if you put your stop a little bit below 207, like 206. A tight one, 206, mid-90s, high 90s. Why? Because this candle over here is a specialist breakdown. They look to stop out everybody that's looking for that 207 level hold, and then boom, moving along your merry way back to the top side. Sadly, this candle probably did stop out a lot of people, dipping into 206.67. So you had to put your stop more than $0.33 lower than that 207 area. But AAPL finding resistance at yesterday's closing print. I'll submit to you, it's at 211.20. And the high of the day is 211 and a quarter. Down we go again. But look at this. Let's look at Apple a little bit more right now. It's been quite respectful ever since double bottoming at that 207 of the 10 exponential moving average on the 5. And oft used by me, moving average. I mentioned the other ones, but I typically execute off the 10. Look at all these holds. Whether it's this over here from 1035, the consolidative area from 1035 to 11, holds a 10. Again over here from when we got the topping tails, 1125 to 1140, holds a 10. It's right back at that 10 exponential at 210 and 3/4. So keep your eye on Apple. I'll submit to you. I think it's the strongest Mag 7 name on the day. And I'm looking at the side chart right now, and it is. The only other one rivaling it right now, it is not a Mag 7 name, obviously, is NFLX. It's up down 0.41. Uber, though, greenery, guys. Uber up 0.5%. Knocking on the door of that 80. So Uber back into the high end of the range. Guys, we were talking about Uber at 60. Uber sustained that move down, Joseph, better than a lot of these other bad boys over here. Let's show the chart on Uber because we got it on e-signal. What happened, Neil?
Oh, let's see Neil.
He doesn't like his, eh? Yeah. Neil's not happy with his.
Put it up there. It doesn't matter. That's why
Neil's not happy about that.
That's exactly why we need to see it. Put it up there. We gotta see.
Joseph wants blood, bro. All right, let's show the daily here on your friend Uber. Look at this range, guys. This $60 level is money. Look at this, Joseph. When Donald take the market, this is the area low. When Apple hit 160s, Uber was defending $60. Guys, I've been yelling about this for weeks now. Let's show the weekly. That $60 level is absolute money on Uber. It goes all the way back into 2021 when Uber was using 60 as resistance. Over here, it's been kind of bull flagging, feels like, for weeks, which it has been, but 60's been money. I like Uber at $60, whether or not you see it again in the next little while. We'll have to wait and see, but just keep your eye out on that. I just wanted to mention those large caps super quick. But Tisha, I know you were saying IVF was the only OG in town with these small cap gappers, but I had to bring ABEO to your attention. It's got a couple of topping tails though, Tisha, into 7 1/3, dropping into 7. Now I see the 10 exponential at 685. It's been very respectful of that 10 exponential moving average on the 5. I'm talking about ABEO. So anything in the 685, I'm buying this one again. Good look right now. Guys, by the way, Andre, I'm disconnected from thing because I'm listening to Donald. So if you need anything, just let Joseph know. Thank you, Andre. What do you got, Joseph?
Yeah, let's go. Golf of Dow Jones is minus 270%, says Enish. Yeah, I mean, dang, man. It's a tough look. Did I just hear I'm reloaded? There we go. So we'll take a look at this SQQ trade one more time. We have that topping signal on the Qs. So maybe we can get that move back towards the volume weighted average price. I mean, we're really extended. We're gaining back a lot of what we lost here on that GDP print. So the best negative GDP print ever, which I find kind of odd. But I mean, when you just win so much, it doesn't even matter at the end of the day. Here we go, though. You can see we have that isolated volume print right here. It was kind of what I was going off here, but we didn't have that volume, so it was just kind of an extension of that. But this time we do have that volume and that inverted hammer. So let's see if we can get a move back down into some of these support levels, because you can see that I'm long the SQs. I added a little bit more than my first position, because that's what we have to do in order for kind of to hit those good risk to reward ratios. But we're still sitting in this SoFi until we come back to our break even. So maybe I just mark it on close some of these, my last bit of shares, but let's see if this market can start to break down and pull back in. NVDA is continuing to just hold around these highs, and that's the thing. This is going to be my second attempt on it, and actually, I believe it's going to be my final attempt on the long on SQQ or shorting the market, because if these big names just want to continue to climb higher, then I don't want to be going against them. I told you guys that before. If you're going to be trading the Qs, look what's going on around you. You can't just hyper-focus on the market. You want to see what some of the big participants are doing and start to follow in that specific direction. So if these big names really start to break down, then we're going to be sitting in a solid position. If it cracks 31.90 here in SQQ, then I'm going to get out of this trade. I know Jay Lee's in it. He's looking for 32.50s, 32.60s, I believe. But with this market being as strong as it is today on this recover rally, then we're definitely in tight and in tough, because we are fighting the trend here, guys. That's right. Joseph, America, we've been winning for decades. Now, yeah, I mean, you guys, with the exception of obviously hockey and some other sports, that I mean, that the Canadians are going to
He's firing shots, bro.
In that gold medal game. So, I mean, a lot of winning, but don't forget, we like to win as well, too. So there you go. Hockey, we beat you guys. I was catching heat about that one. So, I mean, but other than that, I love America, obviously. Love Canada. Love North America, I should say. Neil's ready to say something here.
Get it, Neil.
I love North America. Even Mexico. Keep it, the Gulf of Mexico, even though I love America.
So, look, these guys did a fantastic job. I'm gonna show everybody else what you already saw before I set up what is absolute super hot fire. And I'm talking hot fire. So, obviously, this is fantastic. There it is. There's Sharif. There's Joe. Absolutely knocking it out of the park. There's a great Simpsons motif.
Show us yours, Neil.
Then you got me giving that patented, like, I'm not impressed look, which apparently is what I'm always doing. And I'm telling you right now, like, when we talk about flawless execution, I don't think there's not a single person in this chat, in this stream, in this world, in this universe that can find anything wrong with this unbelievably accurate representation of myself
say no.
that you see here.
I'm going to say no.
As perfect as it gets. I don't think any of you, like, as far as I'm concerned, this is about as good as you can ever find it. The best part about it is, I mean, if you're going to nitpick, and again, if you're going to nitpick, and I'm just nitpicking here, I have a little bit of gray hair, and this doesn't seem to have the gray hair in there. But outside of that,
no, like the shirt.
Outside of that, this is absolutely perfect. So I want to shout out. I love it. It's even got my coaster, the water bottle. Everything's perfect with this. And I can't, for the life of me, I just can't figure out how it could get things so accurately. I mean, it's brilliant. I mean, AI is clearly changing the world and is never, ever screwing up in any way, shape, or form whatsoever, everybody. Back to the boys.
I had to understand what the reaction was, because when Neil went up to and looked at it, like, his reaction was like, oh, hell no. And I didn't understand what happened. Like, I couldn't see it. I still can't see it. Now we understand. The shirt. The shirt's what's off, right, Neil?
The shirt.
Yeah. Everything's fine, guys. Everything's fine.
The shirt is off.
That's what's off, guys. I don't want any other comments in the chat about anything else. Okay? All right. We love this. We're having a good time, guys. I hope everyone can stay lighthearted about things.
J-Matt, I love it. Canada, America, let's go. Partners and friends till the end. So there it is, man. We love America. Obviously, I love America. And yeah, America. But yeah, we'll leave it at that. We love it, and we love Mexico too.
I know you didn't watch. You don't like the Rockies. I've already kind of grieved about that and moved on. But in Rocky IV, one of my favorite ones, where he beats Ivan Drago, It's like capitalism against communism, East versus West, good versus evil. Obviously, that 80s kind of mentality, Reaganism. But there was a sick song by James Brown in that called "Living in America." It is fire, bro. And he does a live rendition of it, like in the movie, for the Apollo Creed fight where he dies, like the Apollo dies. Like that Creed is based on that. So the Creed movies,
grandson.
That's his son. That's his son. Yeah.
Shout out Michael B. Jordan.
Yes, exactly.
And the Sinners. So even some more winning for America right there.
Oh, Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, man.
So that's another
way it is,
W right there. You guys are just docking up. We got Justin Bieber. All right.
We got Drake. I know that he is a little bit,
Twain,
right now.
About
Weekend.
The Weekend.
The Weekend is ridiculous.
Probably the best ever. Party Next Door, right? Who else are we missing?
Bang.
I don't know.
I feel like Adara's going to type in the chat right now. I have a feeling she's going to chime in with some.
Yeah, Adara, who is the best Canadian artist? Please let us know.
Oh, there she is.
I'm curious to what you think, Adara. Who is the best Canadian artist? Ooh, we got
any opinions?
We got Billy Talent as well too.
There she is. She's not talking about her favorite Canadian.
Make sure to hit the like and subscribe to join us every single day. The markets are open.
That monitor drops down right by her left there, eh, Adara? It didn't hurt when it didn't hit you or anything on the way down, right, Adara?
We got the Red Green Show as well too. Way to point that out. I'm pretty sure that's Canadian. That's some good stuff there. So yeah, I mean, I haven't seen that show in probably decades, but
I like it.
Celine Dion, yeah.
Celine Dion. How could we forget Celine Dion, bro? I mean, yeah. Well, Shania is also from Ottawa. She's Canadian.
Yeah. Ooh, Meghan Markle is half Canadian as well too. We'll throw that one up there. No?
Adara, did you want to chime in with something there? Go. That's okay. That's okay. You're good. Okay. Well, we'll send it back to her when she's ready.
We can send it back to her.
I can come back here.
She's good.
Got the Trailer Park Boys.
Sorry about that. So my argument I'm going to make here, best Canadian product, admittedly I'm still listening to Trump, so I kind of missed the whole question, but I will argue it's Degrassi. Because it gave us Drake, it gave us Aubrey Drake Graham starting on the show in 2001. It gave us Nina Dobrev. It gave us great teen soap opera icon Sinead Grimes. In later years, it gave us a ton of other actors. So I'm going to argue Degrassi is the best Canadian product, and I will stand by this. It also started in the 80s, so it's been around for like 40 years.
Next to Trailer Park Boys. It goes Trailer Park Boys, then Degrassi, and then maybe something else. I don't know. We'll figure that one out. Oh, okay. There we go. Tragically Hip. That's exactly
That's
what
another
we
good
need.
one. That's another good one, man.
Best. That's why we love each other. We're just.
And we forgot about Alanis Morissette. I mean, Alanis Morissette was huge in the 90s,
who that is.
What?
It sounds good. Yeah.
What's happening over there, bro? Do I have to get up again? I was joking, but
it's
oh
good
my
stuff
God.
Over here in the Western world, we're just spitting out all-stars. It doesn't even matter.
We are spitting out all-stars.
Yeah, I mean,
that's the way it is,
got
bro.
Bad Bunny, too. I'm pretty sure is he Mexican? I don't know. I'm not gonna
Bad
get
Bunny?
that
I'm pretty sure. I'm not even sure, bro.
Peso Pluma.
Is he Colombian? What is he? He's Spanish, yeah.
I think he's Puerto Rican or something.
Puerto Rican. I think he might
Peso
even know.
Pluma. Shout out Peso Pluma as well. So shout out to everybody.
Isn't that ironic?
But here we go, guys. We're starting to cook up here in the SQQs as we're starting to climb higher, a grind lower towards the volume-weighted average price, and that's what we want to hold on for as our primary target. So there we go. Going to be patient in this one, especially because some of these big names are strong. If you see the Mag 7 bounce off a VWAP and we haven't reached there yet in the TQs, then I'm going to look to be getting out of this trade, Sharif. So there we go. We got a lot of...
Joseph, I got to talk to these people, man, because, I mean, we're putting on a good show here, I think. You know, we got a couple of bangers. I know you've had a couple of bangers. And I'm looking at the like count over here. And I got to tell you, I mean, I don't know what's going on. I know the Katina man had to get aggressive with you guys in the morning to let you know that the like count is unacceptable. Let's get that like count, for goodness sake, guys. YouTube doesn't know. They don't know that you guys like the show. They don't know we're putting on bangers. They don't know we're talking about nonsense on the show. They don't know we're giving you tidbits on the Donald and all his shenanigans there with the executive cabinet. So hit that like button, guys, if you can. Hit that subscribe, share. We would be ever grateful for that. And having said that, let me say this.
The market moves like the waves,
that's
always
why you did
rolling.
it.
So stay in the game. Like, subscribe, and let's go.
I'm hiding the guns today, but you guys get it, right? Like everything's
channeling the inner
we really appreciate it, guys. Obviously, nobody's getting aggressive. We're just joking. We're having a good time. We were high on coffee, not anything else. So yeah, if you could like and share, that'd be fantastic.
The morning show got 2,700, 3,000 likes.
That's
let's
ridiculous.
Let's get.
Did I tell you about what Luca and I did?
No.
So Luca and I, what we did, we told them.
Yeah, you told
the
them.
chat.
What'd you tell them?
Said, look, we get 5,000 likes. We were at like 2,500. We get 5,000 likes. He dresses up as the Cookie Monster, and I dress up as Big Bird.
Big Bird.
And let me tell you, bro, wearing that Big Bird hat
for
3 hours, we ended up getting 8,500 likes that day. That's a fact.
8,500.
8,500. It's recorded. Everything's
crazy.
recorded.
Okay, so
I'm not asking for that right now, Joseph. That's not what I'm saying.
But we gotta.
I'm saying, but we gotta get the like count up.
What can we do to reach that kind of level? What should we wear? Sharif and I. What should
we wear?
And Joseph wear? Oh, okay, yeah. Well, thank you for that, Adara. I mean, Andre, but here we go.
People are like psychoanalyzing me. Sharif is very hyper today.
Yeah.
Abnormal. It's normal to hide negative mood, though. Are you trying to say I'm in a negative mood? I'm in a great mood, baby. Are you kidding me? Today, I'm not going to mention why, but
what would you want us to do? Hide positive mood with negativity?
Yes, I think that's what he wants to see.
No.
He wants to see me happy on the inside, but to show negativity on the outside, probably to echo his own disposition.
Ooh.
You ain't going to get it from me, baby.
Get it from me.
You're going to get the good vibes from me, so step off.
GVO, but guys, listen up. It's that time, Sharif. We all know the saying, big opportunity comes with big risk. But what if that wasn't true anymore? Trade the Pool is redefining what risk means for traders. No more risking your life savings to prove yourself in the market. They give you access to company capital up to $200,000 to trade real stocks. No CFDs, and your downside is limited to a single one-time fee that starts at just $47. That means no blowing up your personal account. You get to trade with serious buying power, all while knowing your loss is capped. Trade the Pool now offers an unlimited time during the evaluation. You get the freedom to trade your way with no time pressure. Visit tradethepool.com and see how far your $47 can take you guys. There it is. Trade the Pool on that one. We're in the TQs. We're going to take a little bit more off the top here, guys.
Okay.
Wow. That one's really working out there, Gaurav. I told you guys from the get-go, it's going to take multiple attempts to get this trade to work for us. And there we go. Stick to those rules. 3 strikes, you're out is mine. We hit it on the third one on SoFi, and now we're hitting it here on the second one. We're on base with SQQs, and we hit that home run, borderline grand slam here on SoFi this morning, and we're still sitting in that trade.
Bangers.
What an absolute, as my guy Katina Man just coming back from the gym.
Oh, yeah.
Face slapper.
How was it, Katina Man? Always good, my man.
See, but that's the thing about the gym. I've never heard anybody come out of the gym and say, I wish I didn't do that. I've done it in trading. Oh, man, I wish I didn't do that.
Yeah.
But never have I ever come out of the gym and be like, oh, man, that was a bad time. I wish I didn't do that.
No.
Never.
It's always the opposite, that I didn't go.
Yeah.
They lament. I don't think I've ever lamented going to the gym. I got to pause.
Yeah.
An injury.
An injury.
That's
an
injury, like especially when your body wasn't feeling it and you kind of pushed it.
This is what I was telling myself for a long time, Sharif. I would rather hate going to the gym, that drive there, but as soon as you get there, than sit at home wishing I went.
Absolutely agree with that.
I would rather just go
1000% agree.
and be slightly miserable for the 15 minutes that it takes me to drive there.
That's it is.
And then as soon as I get in there, I'm like, yeah.
Your heart rate goes up, and then you forget even that you didn't want to go. You forgot that you were lazy. You don't feel lazy anymore. So that's the situation. Guys, I'm keeping my eye on these small cappers. I'm telling you, nothing is setting up the way that I like. ABEO just pulled into the 10. It breached the 10 exponential moving average on the 5 on a wick basis. It ended up closing above it. It's zagging with $7. I didn't work into this because clearly it was putting in lower highs, but it was also putting in higher lows, a compression pattern, but it wasn't forming as a bull flag. So I was really I was really unsure about how to execute here, so as a result of that, I stayed clear. Now, it is showing you that it's closing above the 10. For now, we still have another 3 minutes till this candle closes, so we'll have to wait and see. But I'm interested in pulling and punching in if this one wants to give me a VWAP retracement. I mean, we haven't even glanced at VWAP since 9:45 this morning. We've barely glanced at the 10. Only on occasion. Maybe every hour or so it pulls back into the 10. Like, for example, 11 o'clock it pulls back in. 11:50 it pulls back in. Then here at 12:25 it's pulled back in. So I'd like a deeper, if it loses 7 and loses 10 on a closing basis, I'd like that 660, maybe front run it a little bit, high 60s, 69. You guys know my affinity for posting levels at that price. So, excuse me. So I'll wait for this one to pull back in a bit deeper. But ABEO, in my humble submission, does feel like the better of the small cappers on the day. Whether that remains true, we'll have to wait and see. There's others. IVF. It's up a respectable, very respectable 70%, but this has had a whole lot of trouble clearing the levels. I wonder why. Let's take a look at that pre-market high. Oh, there it is, at $3.30. Well, what's the technical high at day? $3.20. That is why I put that rule out there. These pre-market highs, they end up being, very key area of resistance that we can't shake. Oftentimes, you end up never taking the pre-market high that day. I don't know what the data is on that. I'd love to be able to collect it when there's a definable big pre-market high and it continues to trade with high volume after the bell, what the percentage likelihood that it ends up taking that pre-market high versus failing it. I'd love to know that data point for some of these small cap gappers. But IVF, it's been hard. It's been really hard. And then if you're looking at, creating or looking for a trend, we've got higher lows, man. That 330 and then that 320, then 3. So IVF's been a tougher trade. Doesn't mean that's the only thing that's trading. Your friend Neil has been in Weight Watchers today. WW, I got into this one as well. Ill-fated trade. It was my only loser on the day. WW, that is. It's zigging and zagging. It's above 1 for a little bit, then it comes back in and tests 1. So it's been another one that's, not as clear, not as clearly defined. So ABEO remains the best of the bunch for me. Let's also look at CEP, because CEP can do explosive things. We saw this thing move $5, $6 at a time. You needn't look far. Just look at the chart there for the aggressive price action. But what it's been doing is that umpteen amount of lower highs with essentially the volume weighted average price being that level of support. That's what we call a flat bottom break because you end up getting that descending wedge pattern with lower high, lower high, lower high, and then that flat bottom, and then usually it gives up the ghost, and then all hell breaks loose to the downside. So CEP, technically above VWAP, but not setting up in the best way. I submit to you guys ABEO, the best looking of the bunch at the moment. Bovin, my man, if there's anything else running, I'd love to hear it from you. I know that you're usually looking at this stuff anyway, and I always appreciate when you can throw some of these takers my way. I'm just looking up at the scanner at the top. Okay, another one's weaseled onto the scene, and it goes by the ticker OMH. One that we're familiar with this one. It's one that we've traded before. Let's load up OMH. Great midday breakout. Look at that volume profile, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh. Making highs, the highest volume bars on the day coming in midday. That means the best trade isn't behind it yet. Now, having a look at this one even more. This one was running yesterday, hence why I said we were familiar with this one. So the price action from yesterday takes us essentially to that $4 high. Alas, today is a $3.85 high a day. So I'd like to see that 4 or at least yesterday's high get taken out. Technically, it's $3.98, but really it's $4. So I want to see that that yesterday high get taken out because you never know. Bag holders could be holding this down and pushing it down below 4. So OMH, good breakout there midday coming in to 385. If this takes out 4, I'm all ears and eyes. It's at 385, 386, 87. It is making highs as we speak, guys. OMH. If you're into these small cap gappers, Joseph, this one might be one.
Might be one there, brother. So yeah, really good look. Sorry, someone in the chat asked me to take a look at Tab TV Gaming. Yeah, we'll take a look at Tesla here momentarily, but we want to talk about what we got cooked up here in SoFi. You can see that we have this trade, but then now we also have the SQs as well too, guys. So that one's working out really well for us. So yeah, I mean, there we go on the SQs. A couple attempts on that one, guys. So that one's really working out. You can see that entry. I should have added to the shoulda, coulda, woulda. I'm gonna start doing that. But again, I just rather add kind of like the gym scenario we're going at. But you can see we're slowly starting to take that out. So there we go. Nice trade there on the SQs. But let's take a look at Tesla. I know some people in the chat are asking about it, so we'll go over it. I haven't even taken a look at it today, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Because I honestly don't want any part of this stock right now. But what a beautiful Gorev. Look at this short signal right here. Really nice short signal. And this is what I was waiting for throughout the day. And it's unfortunate that I didn't go any heavier on my SQQ trade. I should have built in with significantly more size, but that's okay. We got that nice trade on SoFi. That's working out for us really, really well. So yeah, happy about that one. But here you go on Tesla. Let's zoom out and see what we got going on from a daily standpoint. So I was referring to this key resistance zone here, guys. We all, well, not we all, but I know, I think it's, sorry, I don't want to, Day Trader Cut and Pug Life as well too. We're always looking at the options chain, and Pug Life is like, Joe, we got high levels of open interest here, and here, and I'm like, yeah, all right, you're right. It just helps. Okay, why are we trading? Why are we bouncing off these specific zones? And I believe that we have a high level of open interest here on Tesla. We'll take a look for you to see if we have any specific ranges within the week to see what we got going on. And I assume, yeah, so there we go, 300 highest levels of OI. But then when we get into that 290, 292.5 is when we really start to run into some overhead resistance. And you can see that we have multiple touches right at that 295 roughly area. And that's where we're gonna have that open interest through all the way up to that that $300 strike price. So just keep an eye out on that stuff. I'm posting it on X, so make sure you go check that as well too. I'll do the market in the morning. Unfortunately, the platform doesn't display the open interest until the open happen, until we open up, but some underlyings do for some reason. But as soon as it opens up, I'll hit that post. So go and check it out if you're curious about the chain and where we might be trading within ranges. I'll display the open interest and what we see on that front. But let's go the TQs. Let's take that move back towards the volume weighted average price. You can still see that we're long SQQs, so that means we're essentially short the market right now, guys, but still long SoFi.
All right, I want to tell everybody that weed is moving today. It is heading higher. MSOS, Katina, man, is at the high of the day. It's taking out 3 1/3 as a result of this headline. Dara brought you that marijuana moment. That's exactly what this source is. So this Benzinga story is linking it to marijuana moment. It reads as follows. Trump's pick to lead the DEA says marijuana rescheduling review will be one of my first priorities on the job. Reports, again, marijuana moment. So keep your eye on that. As you can see in the background there, great looking bull flag here on MSOS. It's non-levered ETF. It's a marijuana or whatever cannabis ETF at the high day, 334, taking out that topping tail candle at 328. Excellent move here. I don't know, man, if we could see a tailwind here. If now that the Republican administration is basically echoing the same type of sentiment that we heard from the Democratic administration, which is to reschedule marijuana so that it's not in the same category as fentanyl, for crying out loud, which just makes sense to me, but needs to be done. So MSOS, good look here. Now, to be fair, they didn't say anything about federal legalization, not yet anyway. We know how this stuff works, though. It's incremental. So keep your eye on MSOS or any other marijuana name. Most of them are running to the upside. So keeping an eye on that. I'm also keeping an eye on OMH. It's got a topping tail candle, which we know is not operative on these small cap gappers. It's not something that, I panic about. I'd like something off 370 or close to 370. And the reason I say that is because the previous candle, the low of there is around 370. Here it is. Here's at 370 right now. Does it hold up here? The 10 exponential moving average is at 360. Let's see if we can weasel into something over here. So it did defend it momentarily. Let me see if I can get the midpoint. It's not giving me the midpoint. I'm trying to get for it. There we go. Now I got it. I will average into $3.60 on this. The idea here is for it to defend the 10 exponential moving average. It also has a previous area of support or resistance that is at around 1030 at $3.50. So maybe I have to give this a little bit more. I don't really want to, but I don't mind averaging into the 360. If it loses 360, I'll get out. And then if it wants to hold up at 350, we can have another discussion. So let's go ahead and throw that order now in the low 60s in order to get that DCA. So what am I seeing here? There we go. I'm going to pick it up right there at 65. It's continuing to go down though. Aggressive selling right here. I'm going to have to flatten out if it does lose a 10 exponential. Let's see if we can get a little bit over here. There we go. So let's go throw that order in now. We're going to throw 348 and then all the way down to 340 if we lose it. So we got 66s on now. So let's go ahead and layer these orders for a pop back up. See if we can get anything on this one. 65 is now posting. So we'll keep an eye out on this one. We got to go to Adara. Hopefully when we get back, we got a couple of prints.
Keep an eye here on Ford. We have sorry, no, this is not Donald Trump. So used to saying Trump-related headlines here. It's actually the CEO of Ford here, Jim Farley, saying that the company is going to be delaying its vehicle price hikes to see what its rivals do. So Ford not hiking prices on vehicles quite yet, just waiting to see what the company's rivals do. The cabinet meeting is continuing. Nothing of interest being said here right now. Back to you.
Thank you for that, Adara. Yeah, we'll keep an eye out, obviously, on these car companies lately because they got a bit of tariff relief. Donald Trump signing that executive order. I didn't have an opportunity yet to read the story because I had a dental appointment this morning, but signing an EO essentially to give them some relief. The duration and the nature of it, I'm still unaware of, so I don't want to speak about that now. I'm still I'm still nursing this trade right now on OMH. I've got 66s. It's showing me 63s. I'm looking at wetting the beak at 69s. I'm looking for a defend of this $0.50. We'll see what we get here. Joseph, what do you got?
Yeah, absolutely, guys. We caught that fill just before the market dumped right here at 32.45. I got 10% of my position left here. So, I mean, yeah, really good look. If I get stopped out break even, then by all means, I'm not going to be upset about that one because I want some of these big names to continue to climb higher. So, yeah, there's that. Here we are. We're coming into it. There we go. What's my average there? 13s. We print 14s. There we go. I'll just hop out. That's no biggie. Little 10% there before it comes back into my break even. And if this market wants to rally, then by all means. But you can see that was a really, really nice trade here on SQQ's entry number 2 on that one, and then pop all the way up to the top side. Just back into towards SoFi. Hopefully we broke these highs. Oh, what an added spot. I'm too late on the ad. I should have focused on this. Maybe right at the volume weighted average price. You can see that we had multiple touches of it, but we're getting some volatility here in the market. I'm pretty sure Adara might have reported something on that, but I just stepped away for a second. But you can see here multiple holds of the volume weighted average price here on SoFi, and we're still down roughly about 6% on the day. So there could be some room to run here. And if this market wants to squeeze and climb higher, I mean, Apple just put in a new high a day, Sharif. NVDA is heading back towards there. Boom says,
get it, Katina Man.
You know what? You know what's crazy?
What?
Someone asked, who is Katina Man?
Oh.
Yeah, and I said, pardon?
Yeah, well, you know.
Yeah, well, I mean...
we got, to be fair to them, we got newer viewers all the time, and his name is Sean, technically, so...
Technically.
Yeah. But, you know, around these parts, you know, for me anyway, he's known as the Katina Man.
Yeah, and I mean, by all means, he's enjoying his lunch right now. Throw him up there.
Yeah, he's trying to wave to everybody. Andre?
And we're going to be like, there he is.
There's my guy.
Get
it, Katina Man. How's the food? You want to show him the food real quick, Katina Man? No, he doesn't want to show the food.
Oh,
he doesn't want to, bro.
Hey, man.
Look, bro, the Katina Man giveth, and he taketh away.
Good, man.
Right?
Show the food. Show the food, man.
It's a half-eaten plate. He's already polished it off, baby.
Save some for me, brother, because I will be eating up a storm. Sharif tried to steal my lunch yesterday.
I didn't mean to, bro. This guy's talking smack. I took his plate accidentally, and then I loaded in some more chicken, right? So then he's like, you took my plate. I'm like, Joe, I loaded it with chicken. Make sure to unload the chicken that I took.
Make sure you put some, there it is, right there.
Shout out to Joe, man. I appreciate you. Yeah, man, I need my protein, man. Look, we're getting these sessions every day, Joseph. The muscles are not going to grow on their own, baby.
They're not going to grow them dang selves. That's for sure.
How's your plate, Joe?
How is it? Oh,
yeah, Andre wants to know, bro.
I'm eating it now. Yeah, exactly. I would eat Katina Man's.
What a guy! What a guy! Not Katrina, 11-man army. Katina. It's his last name. He's Italian. Right? Yeah. Get it, Katina.
Italian. So there we go. Apple working out for us. We're continuing to climb higher. We're all out of that SQQ trade there, guys. It's Wednesday, right? Yeah. Jeez, I don't even know what day it is anymore. But here we go, still sitting in this trade here on the on SoFi, working out really, really well for us. So I mentioned we've been in this trade for almost 3 hours now. We got in at 10 o'clock, and we're gonna sit on it until otherwise. We don't have too much left there, Sharif. Only a couple percentage points there, but we'll hold on to it just to make it a pretty picture.
All right, the Piper and I have been talking, and he's telling me the spread that he's seeing on OMH, and I've been telling him the spread that I see, and he's telling me 20 pennies. So Piper, I want you to look over here, brother. You see that? That is the ask side, 63s. You see that? That's the bid side. So you got a 2-penny spread right now on OMH. It ain't 20, baby. So what I asked you in the chat was, which broker are you using? Because sometimes these brokerages, they'll only use 1, maybe 2 gateways. And so maybe the spread on that gateway is what's giving you trouble. I don't know. I don't know what brokerage you're using. I don't know what access or permissions you have on that. So let me know, brother, but it's certainly not a 20-penny spread. It's a 1-penny spread right now. I'm talking about OMH, guys. Small cap gapper up 18.5%. We got 66s on with this one. It's showing me 60. So we're 6 pennies out of the money. I'm looking for this to hold up. I want to defend it into the volume weighted average price, but I don't want to get too aggressive too quickly. We've already added twice, so I'm keeping my eye on that. Weight Watchers, right back into that. Where is my WW chart? Did I take it off? I think I might take it off, so we'll throw it back on. I believe this is the NY. Is it NY? No, I'm incorrect about that. It is NQ. Allow me a second, guys. Sorry. Here it is. Weight Watchers is breaking out. So I just looked at in the nick of time. It's at 108 right now. That is the high of the day. There's all sorts of size right now posted at 108 right now. From what we can see, it looks to be about maybe 5,000. It's getting taken out. All that size, that thousands there just turned into hundreds. So a big buyer just came in, but now it can't shake that 3 1/4. Now that's dropping to 3 on ARB and ARCX. Those are different gateways, guys. That size got taken out. It is now a 110 high day right now on WW as it continues to move up. Good look on Weight Watchers, guys. Good look on Weight Watchers, guys. Sorry, I didn't know what that was. So keep an eye out on that. Get it, Adara. Just keeping an eye on this 110 level. There's a lot of size posted. So initially it was 108. Now it's 110. But we've seen this story before with Weight Watchers. Very thickly traded. Very heavy ask, as you can see there. On the level too.
Get it out, man.
Hold on. Right. Very heavy ask, right? Yeah, I thought, you know, whatever, fine. It's fine. All right, I suck. But anyway, 110 high a day right now, guys, on WW. Keep your eye out on that one. Let's see if it can stay above a buck for for a minute here. It's been zigging and zagging with that buck, but keep an eye on that. Joseph, we're still involved in OMH. We're doing it freaking live. Damn. I've put my orders there for a pop-up. We're getting respect for the 10, but we're not getting higher highs on OMH. So that does concern me. So the previous candle high, 368, current candle high, 366. Adara has news at the big desk.
TSLA actually making a bit of a move here. It is worth noting Elon Musk was just speaking here during Trump's cabinet meeting. Now, I don't want to say anything because, of course, we want to wait to see if things are moving the markets. But it is worth noting Donald Trump thanked Elon for his remarks, said, oh, you're welcome to stay here or be here as much as you want, but we know you have to get back to your cars. So Tesla making a little bit of a move up here. We know during his earnings call for Tesla that Elon said he will be spending, quote, significantly less time at DOGE or the Department of Government Efficiency. That role is why he's at this cabinet meeting. But either way, a little bit of volatility here on TSLA as we get comments about, I guess, Elon Musk being invited to stay at DOGE and with the cabinet as long as he likes. Back to you.
Good stuff there. I want to cover this real quick because I think it's really important to be able to identify these. We talk about volume price analysis all the time and why we specifically take these trades. Yep. I showed you why I went on short here the market on this specific candle right here. I tried on this one. But I want us to know, aside from all of that, look at the result in this candle right here, Sharif, but then look at the volume. Look at the effort, right? So that can just explain to me, like when I see that, exactly, that's exactly what that is. That's what we can classify as an anomaly, because the result, the candle print is engulfing everything, but then we have no effort resulting in that. So that's not a genuine move to me, and that's where you can see the market is starting to pull back a little bit as well too. So we have constructed that lower high. If we break, I definitely want to see that volume step in. But when you see massive engulfing candles like this and low volume, that might be a fake out.
All right. Yeah, we'll keep an eye out on that. I'm still waiting, guys, here on OMH. I'm break even on it now. I didn't add anything else, but it's worrying me. I got to tell you the truth. We're not putting in higher highs. We are finding respect or support. I mean by that. When I say respect, I mean it's bouncing off a key level. So meaning it's using it as support for the 10 exponential moving average on the 5. But the previous candle high is not being taken out. And my outs are above the previous candle high. So it does concern me. Now it's a 1 penny spread again on OMH. It had opened up to about 4. So shout out to Meme and the Piper. Certainly wasn't 20, brother, but it got as wide as 4. All right, so we'll keep an eye out on that. But guys, VinFast closed 2024 with strong financial and operational performance, signaling big progress on its global EV journey. Q4 revenue reached $678 million US. Guys, that's up 70% year over year and up 34% quarter over quarter, reflecting obviously robust demand and improving sales execution. 97,000 EVs delivered in the year of 2024, including 53,000 in Q4 alone. That's a 192% increase, guys, year over year, underscoring the traction across core and new markets for VinFast. Progress on global expansion as well continues to move. 322 EV showrooms and 322 e-scooter showrooms now operational worldwide as of March 2025, including both VinFast-owned and dealer-operated locations. So you're getting the best of both worlds there. Green mobility ecosystem as well as part of their core missions, which they've continued to deploy the green charging infrastructure and growth of their GSM electric ride-hailing services in key Asian markets to drive along long-term adoption. Shout out to the great folks there at VinFast. And maybe that was what I needed, because boom, we take out all those levels on my man OMH. We're doing it freaking live up here. Now I'm waiting at 82s, Joseph Wilson. Let's see if we can get something up there. We've still got shares on here on OMH. Doing it well. We got 61s on now, giving us a bit of a buffer. And that previous candle high, well, you probably guessed it already got taken out. So the deal is anything now below $3.55, I'm Gonzino. It's going to have to hold up at that level. And boom again, Joseph Wilson, taking out 82s. Now we're going to wait at 95s. What's the deal? You're going to take out 95s? That necessitates a high day break, because the current high day is 392. So we're doing it on this one. We're going to continue to do it on OMH. I wanted to bring you this guy, this one over here, because it has a good move under it. And again, guys, this one started moving midday. It didn't have its best trade in the pre-market. It didn't have its best trade at the open. That makes a difference for these small cap gappers. It does. It's not a big tech, a Mag 7 name where everybody knows about it and it's perennially, in vogue. No, these ones are only in vogue for a hot minute. They're around for a good time, not a long time, Joseph.
Dang, there it is, man. Well said. Thank you. All right, Elon Musk. Again, I'm sorry for the old delay there, my friend. But we're gonna go over some UNH. I know that you have some calls on this name, and it's like, okay, I'm pretty sure you said they're leaps or something along those lines, but now you know that they're not working out good. I think if I recall, you said you're around 540s or anything, or something along those lines. So what can we do in the meantime to kind of just mitigate this loss? It's not going to be anything drastic, right? Capital appreciation will always exceed premium received, but what we can do is just kind of get you back to just chipping away, even if it's a couple percentage points, into those unrealized losses. And I believe you answered your question perfectly, right? Like, just start selling a month out, right? If you have that leap, just start selling a month out, some premiums against that, right? You can just do the poor man's covered call, essentially. On that front, you have the contract, so just start selling premium against them. It's tough, that gap down. It's a really, really not a good look. And you always have the option to just get out of the trade and realize the loss as well too, but you may as well try to mitigate it for right now until you get closer to expiration. So there you go. I think you have the right idea. Just start selling some premium. You're probably not going to collect that much right now, but it's better than nothing, right? And you have to kind of look at it like that from a hedge standpoint. At least you're not going to be realizing 100% of the loss, even if it's 90, 85, 80% of it. It's better than nothing, and I think that's kind of the case that you're in. And it's happened to me, so don't feel any type of way about that because it's just really part of the game, as I like to say. But other traders in the chat are asking for very, very key stuff. Joseph, what are the expected moves on tonight's earnings? I love it. So let's pull this up. We're going to go over some of these key moves right here. Let me pull up my trusty site, and then we're going to get into Robinhood because they report, and you know who is in this name for the long term here, guys. Your boy, JD Dubs. They used to call me Dubs back in high school.
They did, eh?
Yeah,
I like that. Yeah, because of Wilson, obviously.
Dubs, right? So there we go. Excuse me. So yeah, we're looking at, sorry, one more time. We're looking at an 11.6 expected move here on Robinhood this evening. So that can put us at a high of roughly around 53.02 and a low of around 41.06. What is that telling us for all our straddle traders? We need to exceed this move in order to become really profitable. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck with these stagnant options contracts. And then eventually, if you're buying that at the money straddle and you don't exceed it, then eventually the volatility decay will just chew up the value of your contracts, and that's not fun. Volatility decay in the value of them and time decay, that is not fun, all right? So that be cautious of that one there. So that is Robinhood. Let's see what else we got going on today. I guess one of the higher anticipated ones here is Meta Platforms, guys. Let's take a look at this one. Yeah, we're gonna get into the Playmaker poll in 7 minutes there, Stevenson. Don't think we forgot about that. So about a 7.3 expected move here in Meta. It's going to put us at a high of around 577 and a low of around 498. All right, now on to the next one, the soft one, Sharif. Soft,
yes, sir.
Microsoft. Let's see what we got going on this front. About a 4.3% expected move, a high of 407 and a low of 377. And then we got one more here, QCOM.
Okay.
Qualcomm, what are you up to, and
that's
what are you giving?
Too, bro.
Very much important one as well there. So that's what we want to focus on. 6.2% in either direction, a high of 155 and a low of 136.
I want to throw something in here because you brought up Qualcomm, so it jogged my memory.
Absolutely.
So Apple, I was telling you about the iPhone 17 before we got on the show. And Apple will be dropping their, I think it's called the C1 or C8, something like that, their own modem chip now, Joseph.
Modem chip.
They've been using Qualcomm for years. In fact, they did extend the contract with Qualcomm, to be fair, but they're taking the opportunity to use the new Air, which hasn't been announced, the iPhone Air, to throw in their own chip. So I am worried a little bit about maybe some headwinds coming in for QCOM. We have to wait and see. Again, they've got a multi-year deal still locked in with Apple. I think they locked in a 2 or 4 year deal last year. But that doesn't mean that Apple can't weasel in their own chip, which we know that they were doing. That's what they were doing. So Apple looking at dropping their own. We're not talking about the M1 or the A chip. That's the CPU. We're talking about the modem chip, which has been supplied by Qualcomm for as long as I can remember anyway, Joseph. So thank you for bringing that up. I just want to mention
valid point there. DEFCON 1, the thing is, though, with options, man, when you're in them in the aftermarket, there's no way of getting out and dropping the other one, right? You're in for that ride. I mean, come market open, you can obviously close the positions, but other than that, you got to sit in that for that duration throughout that whole post market to see if anything else, what isn't working, you can't get out of it prematurely, and that's unfortunate. Well, there is ways, but then I don't know how it would necessarily work with a straddle. So I'll use this as an example. So I buy this call going into earnings. I believe that the underlying asset's going to appreciate, and then boom, we get that expected move. We exceed that expected move, but wait, I can't close my contract to lock in those profits. But what you can do if you have the capital is you can now short 100 shares, right? Or however many contracts you have. 5 contracts, 100 times 5, 500 shares, and that will lock you in that specific price. Well, Joe, how does that lock in that specific price? Well, now you have an asset that gained, appreciated in price. And then what you can do is you can lock it in by shorting it. So now what happens is if the underlying goes down, the short shares will appreciate, right? And then your long contract will also depreciate it, but it's still locking in that specific amount of unrealized gains, if you guys understand what I'm saying and how that works. Max taught me that. It's funny because he was telling me, we were talking a couple weekends ago, and he was telling me, he's like, oh man, I had this in the market. And I'm like, dude, why didn't you do what you taught me? Is if you want to lock in gains, and the same thing on the put side, if you have a contract that just absolutely goes on a run in the post market, you can sell those shares. And the same thing for a put. You have a contract that the underlying dumps. You have this put contract, you want to lock it in, you can just buy those shares as well too, and that's how you lock in those specific those unrealized profits. Yeah. So yeah, DEFCON 1. Yeah, and Brandon Townsend. There we go. That's exactly what it is. And when Max told me that, because I was telling him about some contracts that I had, and he's like, yeah, dude, you could have just sold shares against it and locked in on that specific price, but you had unrealized. And I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense, right? So hopefully I explained it well for you guys, and you get a good understanding of what's going on. But now, so we've taken we've taken some key steps here. So what we did is we identified what's going on from an earnings standpoint. We looked at the expected move, the implied move here in some of these names. Now what's the next step? Let's take a look at our options chain to see where we have these high levels of open interest. So we're going to go through those same names. All right, we're going to go through those same names, but we're going to go and look and see what I can identify on the options chain as well, too. Let me get this down here and pull up our SoFi. We're still grinding here in SoFi. So first things first, let's pull up Meta. What is Meta telling us on this week's expiration cycle? Where do we have the highest levels of open interest? I told you that can put us around a high of 550, I believe, with our expected move.
Okay.
And that's where we kind of got the highest levels of open contracts right now, Sharif. That's at that 550 strike price. I have to go significantly higher. Oh, okay, 600. There's 8,000. But I don't think we get up there, and I could totally be wrong. If this report's an absolute banger, then we can definitely get up to 600. But that's looking like max pain. So we got that going on there. That's what I want to see on the call side. I'm going to aim for around 550 right now because that's where we have the highest levels of open contracts. To the downside, 500. Roughly, we got 4,000, so nothing outstanding there. And then we're going to take a look at Microsoft. What is Microsoft telling us? And that is going to be around that the first highest level is going to be 400, right, with 6,000 open contracts. And then we have to go all the way up to 415 to see another 6,000 open contracts. Now, what do we see to the downside? 380 may be a potential low with 5,000 open contracts, and then 370 with 3,000 as well too. So that is Microsoft and Meta we went through. And then what is my good friend Robinhood telling us here as well too, Sharif? At that 50 strike, thank you. At that 50 strike price, 18,000 open contracts. So that can come in as some potential resistance. And then if we go to the downside, the next highest level is going to be at that 45.
Sorry, can you keep going?
Yeah, that $45 strike price. I know you got to send them something. Yep. So yeah, let's see what else we got going on. Joe, I buy legs of strangles independently, bail on the losing leg because sometimes even when it goes toast, the other side apes so hard it won't matter. Exactly, and that's kind of the game plan, right? When you're playing straddle strangles, you want the opposite side or whatever side to just kind of appreciate and outweigh the other one, and you'll be able to save some stuff with volatility. Most, I am sure, only have options level 1 on their broker, so they will only be able to go long puts and calls or run cover calls on shares.
That's actually
that
true.
OIV
Most people
crushes those positions on ERs. Yeah, I think so. I think I agree with that one on that front. And yeah, I mean, that's it, guys. So this market continuing to climb higher. I'm glad the TQs are starting to rebound a little bit as well. So hopefully NVDA is continuing to climb, and it is. I haven't looked at IBIT too much. It's unfortunate. It got hit really hard this morning, and it's just moving eastward here now. So somewhat of a decent recovery, but you can see that we're not even anywhere relatively close to where we were. And some of these bigger names are recovering significantly stronger on that front. Sounds good, Sharif. Before I send it back to you, my friend, I want to get this in ASAP. We are going 62% long, so I want to document the Playmaker poll before I send that back because that is what we do. All right, are you ready for it?
I'm ready, man.
Yeah, whoa, hold on.
Stay ready so you don't have to get ready,
87,
right?
we're almost at your favorite number. Stay ready. Exactly. And that's what UFC fighters do. They're just always ready. The real ones are just always ready just in case that phone rings.
I like that.
And they're prepared. All right, talk to me.
549.67.
549.67.
We're taking profits at 551.67.
67. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, 67, yeah. And then we're getting stopped out, 548.67.
Okay, bless you.
Guys, OMH just hit $4. It did reject 4. I did wet the beak there at 95s. I'm long 58s. I'm thinking 411. You know, I'm looking for a decent amount of room for something to spike up above 4, but to actually end up rejecting 4. So here we are. There's not that much size posted on the level 2 here at 4, yet it's holding up. So clearly an iceberg order, otherwise known as a hidden seller, guys, that can hide their order. Here we go. We're about to take them out again. We've taken out all the levels. Boom! Into the high, Joseph Wilson. All right, man. Doing it live here on OMH. It's continuing to go.
You got a slapper on.
Not that's not a bad one, eh?
No, that's a good one.
That's not a bad one. All right, guys. OMH, good look. I tried to tell you. This one is going today. It is up 35% and continuing to go. Guys, it doesn't even have that much volume yet, and there's a reason for that, because it's a newer trade. It just started trading to the high side, I want to say around midday, maybe 12:30. Like, look at the volume bars there. You had nothing at 9:30 all the way to about 12:15, and you didn't even have the biggest volume bar till right now, 1 o'clock. That's when you're getting your biggest volume bar of over 700,000 shares. I love these midday trades that start, you know, getting the volume and the price action, not at the open. Adara, what's up?
Both Coca-Cola and Pepsi pushing a little bit lower here. RFK Jr., Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who, of course, leads the Department of Health and Human Services, currently speaking at Trump's cabinet meeting, which is still happening. And basically what he said here was that he's working with the leader of the Department of Agriculture to get soda and candy off of food stamps. Mondelez didn't really move on this, or some other names here that produce candy or snacks. But some of these soda companies did keep an eye on KDP, PEP, and KO. Again, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is saying that he and the Health and Human Services Department are working to get soda removed from the food stamps. Back to you.
Thank you for that, Adara. Yeah, I got to start listening. I thought I muted it, Adara, so I forgot that I muted it, and I thought the meeting was over. Yeah, it's Doug Burgum sitting left of on the right of Marco Rubio. Then we have RFK. That's obviously Linda McMahon, the education secretary. So all the heavyweights are there. They're all hanging out and talking up a storm while the press watches, which is what this guy likes to do, man. I mean, we all saw the Zelensky thing in the Oval Office. He's just negotiating in the open, stuff that would have never been said, you know, out loud or in the open or to the media. This is just normal stuff for this administration. So you can either love it or hate it, but it's here. So let's deal with it. So I'm out on this one at 411. It did work up into 418 high a day. It's below my my exit right now. What I want to see is a test of the previous area level. So it wasn't $4. It was around $3.90. So let's see, number one, does it hold 4? So if it does, we'll use 4 as that level of support. If it doesn't, I'm looking for a dip trade again here on OMH at around 390. This is my thinking on this one. It's up 33%. Again, not really big percentage winners today. We haven't had too many of those lately, like the heavy triple-digit winners we've got, I think, last month and the month before that. But that doesn't mean that we can't trade these small cap gappers, and that doesn't mean that they're not active midday. They are. I submit to you, we've been doing it live here, baby, the last couple of days on this one. So we'll keep an eye on that. What else we got here, Joseph? We got some stuff. Let's bring in the side chart and see what's good.
Let's see what's good there.
See what's good. Weight Watchers did lose $1. So shout out to my man Bovin bringing this to my attention. Excuse me. On this one, let me just load it up. So WW did lose $1. Again, Bovin, I don't know how you feel about this one, man, but I feel like this has been a choppy trade on Weight Watchers. It hasn't been really respectful of key levels like $1, VWAP, etc. It's been marching to the beat of its own drum. At least that's been my perception of it. Moreover, when it does break key levels, it's almost always bound to retrace. Here's the case in point. Pre-market high, 6 a.m., retraces all the way back down, makes another high at the open, retraces all the way back down. You guys get the drift, right? It just did it. $1.13, now it's below $1 at 99 pennies. So Weight Watcher is a bit of a tougher move here. Shout out to Tisha. I appreciate you, Tisha, on that. OMH is a good look on the day. Tisha, look at this. I mean, the volume bars are just coming in, Tisha. I mean, they weren't running in the pre-market. They weren't running at the open. So there's a lot of volume coming in midday, and I happen to like that kind of setup a bit better. We'll keep an eye out on that one. CEP as well. So I haven't mentioned this one since we were executing on it earlier, but it's calmed the hell down. In addition to calming the hell down, it's giving you that higher low, higher high situation. All right, that's the good news. That's a good side of the analysis. What's the bad side? We're still putting in lower highs. So this still feels like it could be a flat bottom breakthrough VWAP. Listen to this for a second. So we keep putting in these lower highs, as you can see. So area high at 42, another area high at 40.50, yet another area high at 39. All the while, it's been finding support at around 36.50, give or take, sometimes going into 36. So CEP, it's giving you that nice move off the volume-weighted average price, putting in higher lows and higher highs since 12.20. However, if you're looking for that breakout trade, looking to take it through 40, be careful with that because it does tend to put in lower highs, and by extension of that, it will reject that key technical level if it is to continue to do the same thing. So CEP, not a bad look. OMH is the one I'm more concerned about right now. It did wick below 4. As you guys can see there, it did drop below 4, but quick as you freaking like, man. Right back up into 411. So it's zigging and zagging right now. Let's keep an eye out on this one. Tisha, she's not feeling CEP. She's like, shake my head, terrible. Yeah, I feel you, Tisha. I mean, if you caught this one on the wrong side, it could have been a choppy mess. I definitely agree with you there, especially with the lower high situation, Tisha, because every time you think, all right, we're making that move back into highs, only to get that lower high and to move back down. Unless you're averaging in aggressively, you're likely out of the money. I'm not talking about you, Tisha. I mean, generally, if you're trading this and trying to take it as a breakout trade. So that's all I'm looking at right now, guys. ABEO was another one we were involved in heavily. Where the hell is it? There it is. It's losing the 10. I think it's losing the 20 as well. These are moving averages. When I say the 10 and the 20, I mean moving averages. I'm a buyer likely here, Joseph, at 6 1/3, because that's where the volume weighted average price is on ABEO. If it comes in to that 6 1/3, it holds up there. I'm a buyer. We'll do it live. We'll take it long, and we'll see what the situation is. But look at this. OMH taking out highs yet again. This should have been a buy. Buy me at $4. Shut the hell up, Sharif. Take the trade. 424 high a day. It's zigging and zagging right now in the low 20s. Something tells me that 24 ain't going to hold for long. It's now 25, my favorite number. 27s now. I stand corrected. Fantastic look, guys, on OMH, putting in higher highs.
Yeah, good stuff there, DJ, my guy. We're having a good time here in the chat.
Oh, my highs.
Oh my God.
Get it, Adara.
Yeah, who's that? Oh,
Adara.
There we go. Adara with the point. All right, guys, a really good look here. It's unfortunate that I missed this trade again. But if you go across the board, you can see that a lot of the big names failed to put in a new high. So we put in a lower high. And we have another indecision print. So at the crack of that 470, you could get that move. And I think on this move, we are going to breach it. But now I don't want to skew my RVR on this one. Jaylee, hopefully you're still still long SQs. Because, yeah, this would have been a really, really good prime time entry right here. And as you can see, we're starting to head towards the lows. You can go across the board and see that the Meg just couldn't construct a new high. So that's a solid short, potential short signal. So you can see that lower high right there. And then let's go to Microsoft as well, too. You can see same thing, lower high. And this is what I'm referring to, right? It's either we're going to construct a new one or put in that lower high. And you can see that right there, Microsoft doing that exact same thing. And with the likes of a couple other tickers as well. So that just adds more conviction. I told you when multiple tickers and multiple big names are doing the same thing, then that can add some more conviction within the setup. So that was the game plan and a really nice short as some of these Amazon is now through the volume weighted average price. NVDA is right at the volume weighted average price. Microsoft as well too. So there you go. Unfortunate that we missed that additional entry, but it is what it is. We'll maybe wait for another pullback. But if we construct a third lower high, then you can definitely believe that we're going to head into some key support levels. And I think that's going to be the narrative of today's session, especially with GDP coming in significantly cooler than what is expected. So, and I mean, going back to the conversation of I said to Katina, man, I don't think the market makes all-time highs, and I think with the R word just continuously looming, the chances are in my favor, the probability is in my favor, I think, on that one, and I just don't see it. Like, so what I was thinking here, Sharif, is if I go to the likes of Meta, right?
Yep.
Like, the chances are the market putting in a new all-time high without these big names participating is very slim, and you got to look at Meta from a percentage metric. So we're down 27%, right?
Yep.
So what is that? Again, we needed a 50% increase from where we're currently sitting at to put in a new all-time high just to get back to that level, right? So is Meta going to go up 50% in the year? I don't personally think so. And if we're going to continue to go down the line, NVDA is still down with the likes of close to 30%, probably down 25% still at this point. So the same with Meta here. So you can see 30%. Are we going to hit that level? Like, I mean, if a stock's down 50%, you essentially need it to double just to get back to that all-time high. And I don't think we're going to see that in this year. I could eat my words, but I just don't think we're going to see that type of appreciation in the names, especially coming off of 2 back-to-back 20% years.
All right, I'm not going to make any assessments on all-time highs, but I want to say something that you and I were talking about off camera. What I was telling you today when I came in, I saw that negative GDP print.
You've seen the print.
And we know what a recession is. It's 2 consecutive quarters in a technical sense, whether people categorize it like that or not. But in a technical sense, a recession is 2 negative quarters in a row. So we got one. Right?
Okay.
Or is it on the month or the quarter?
I think it was the quarter. It was
Adara. Was the GDP
expected.
print for the month or the quarter this morning? Okay, Adara's going to talk about it in a second. We're going to send it to her.
How the GDP prints work is it's going to be an estimate for the quarters. So what happens is it's going to be for the previous quarter. You get 3 estimates. The final estimate, which happens at the very end of the next quarter, is going to be the final print. So for example, for Q4, we got our last Q4 estimate in March, if that makes sense. So of course, in April, we start with our first Q1 estimate. Now, again, we've had Donald Trump saying that the Q1 estimate could not really be attributed to his team because I guess there was a little bit of overlap there at the start of the month between the administrations, start of the month of January, I mean. But basically how this is going to work is we're not going to get a final Q1 print until June, which is when you get the final estimate of the Q1 print. So yeah, again, just pretty confusing here, but each month we're going to get a different estimate. It's all going to be for the same quarter until the next 3-month cycle begins. Back to you. I hope that makes sense.
Thank you very much for that, Adara, and great explanation there, letting us know exactly how it works. So what I was saying to Joseph earlier was statistically, the market bottoms before we actually get that technical recession. So we obviously saw lows, whether that's a bottom or not. We're not trying to make pronouncements. We're just giving facts here. The market will tend to bottom before we actually realize the recession. So if we are to get a recession, I'm not saying we will, if this quarter ends up coming out negative once we get the final print, and then the subsequent quarter does the same thing, and then we've got those 2 negative quarters in a row, what statistically is more likely is we make that bottom in the market before we actually realize a recession. So I think, that kind of puts me a little bit at ease, not fully at ease. Obviously, nobody really likes to hold into a recession, and I can completely understand that. But knowing that piece of information kind of helps me sleep a little bit better at night. I just want to mention, or go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say one thing. I believe that the market's baked in the possible effect of these tariffs. Has the market priced in a potential recession just yet?
That's a great question.
Right?
That's a great question. But if you have to make the assessment that if it's statistically probable that the recession is after the market bottom, then in the past, would they have not priced in the recession already?
Okay, so you
see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see exactly what you're saying. So you're thinking that it could be baked in possibly with...
It's so hard to know.
So it's hard
to know, right?
Absolutely.
All right, guys, I'm back into OMH, and I've taken several prints so far. We took a beak wetter there. I'm long 03s. I took a beak wetter at 7s, 11s, and then 15s. Now I'm going to wait for a high day break, okay? And I'll stop out, guys, below $4. I'm not going to... I put my out actually at 392 because I based it on the 5-minute 5-minute candle at 105, the low of the 5-minute candle at 105, which is 392. It's showing me 20s. 27 is the high day. There is a seller here at 20, an aggressive seller. Nothing posted again, like always, not always, but a lot of the times on the level 2. So it is an iceberg order right now, is my estimation. I'm posted here for an offer at 33s. So we have to take out 27s, obviously, for me to get printed. Let's see if this one gets aggressive to the high side. I feel this is both lagging again, with the high end of the range obviously being the high a day and the low end being about $4, give or take. So let's see which way the cookie crumbles over here. Anything below 4, I'm flattening out. It dropped down into 403. Again, anything below 4, I'm not giving this to 392. 392 was when I had size on. Now we've got one more beak wetter, so we're gonna let this one go. OMH, it's the gift that keeps on giving for now, but it will taketh away if you stay in it too long. They're around for a good time, not a long time. I sound so repetitive, but I don't care. Here we go. Took out 20s. Now it's at, I think it just popped into 25s. Can we take out 27s? We're showing 23s here on the level 2, 25s now on the level 2. We're 2 pennies away from the high a day. Let's keep an eye out on this one. Seller at 25, a bigger seller at 25 as it holds up at that level. It's still putting in higher lows though. Each of the last 3 5-minute candles on OMH has a higher low. So good buying there. Here we go, 30s flattening out, boom on OMH. On 30, yeah, I took 30s. I didn't take 33s, full disclosure. Technical high day, Joseph, 433. So I wouldn't have got printed. Oh. Because it didn't cross. So I'm happy that I took flattened up there. Get it, Tisha. She said OMH got room to 471, then 496. 398 needed to hold. It certainly did, Tisha. $4 held, not on a wick basis, obviously, but on a closing basis. All 3 of the last 5-minute candles have closed above 4. Keeping my eye on this one still.
Yeah, good look there. So, okay, so sports and stonks, Joseph, I'm reloading SQQs. Test 3270 with the stop of 3228. All right, yeah, I like that idea. We're starting to kind of squeeze right now, just kind of going back towards we are. So hopefully you don't get stopped out. We are getting really, really close to that. I mean, we're a penny away from your stop, but just be cautious, right? Like, so what we can, I don't want to do that actually. So what we can see here is that we're starting to squeeze back up. I mean, the volume isn't there. It's just a nice bounce off of the volume-weighted average price. So as Obi likes to say, and those VWAP buyers stepping in, tomorrow is prices. Exactly.
Bang.
You remember exactly what I said the other day, and I'm glad that you're paying attention to that stuff. So yeah, tomorrow is absolutely priceless. And here we go. So if we fail to crack this high, then there might be another potential short here that could set up. So if we put in another lower high, what we can do is just do our basic TA and just go from point to point here and see where that's going to lead us. So if we get a kind of a retest of up to these specific levels and then head back lower, then that will be the case, and then maybe there can be an additional short. But really what I was looking at is the crack of this with a re-entry right here, risk profile defined at the break of the high of this candle, just a little bit above it, and then you get that move slightly just above the volume weighted average price. So that was a really, really good trade that we missed out on. But I mean, hey, we took a nice one on the SQs, shooting a 50% accuracy, being positive on that trade is good. And I told you guys I shot like a 30% accuracy on on SoFi this morning and still profitable on the day. So there's that one. Oh, that's TQs. I want SQQ just to display what was going on. Same thesis, guys, right? So using the low as my stop off of this specific candle, we get stopped out. Wait a couple minutes. Patience is extremely key, and that's when we get right back into the trade. And that second opportunity was equally as good, if not better. And unfortunately, we didn't take advantage of that one. But again, you can't catch them all, even though like Ash says, you got to catch them all, or if whoever says, Sharif, I'm not sure cut that pun, but I don't know if it was necessarily a pun, but it was a Pokemon reference.
Okay,
right? Yeah,
we gotta hear it again. I know it's a little anticlimactic.
You can't.
Yeah, my bad.
You gotta get it. But anyway, that one's over.
I don't know Pokemon that well, bro. I'm gonna tell you the truth, bro. I know Pikachu, and that's the only one that I know from the bunch.
Yeah, Blastoise is
Can I tell you the theory about that? Did I tell you this before?
No.
So Pokemon, you gotta go.
Oh yeah.
Let's tell everybody.
No, what was that?
Geographic.
Yeah, it was like what was that? It was like the catch 'em all. It was a Pokemon Go, I think.
Yes, exactly.
Go, yeah.
So Pokemon Go, widely speculated now to have been like this app so that you can create a very detailed geolocation by having people actually go to the location and getting precise details, both pictures and GPS data. So like they did it and then they sell the data, right? It's brilliant.
I remember just like watching that stuff. That thing was absolutely crazy. People just like, you knew who was playing the game because they're in the most random spots. And it's like, what are you doing here? And it's like they're trying to catch something. But
all right, Joseph. In sports playing, flexibility is everything. At ProfitX, you can see the order book just like a financial exchange. Pick your spot and customize the odds to fit your risk. Why settle for a single offered price when you can set your own? Plus, our mobile interface makes it easy to play on the go. ProfitX, baby, where you call the shots anytime, anywhere. Users can use code TraderTV to get our sign-up offer and get 2% cash back up to $300. We're going ahead, Daryl.
Okay, so keep an eye here on this market. The cabinet meeting, which is still happening, is now having Q&A, so people can ask questions of Donald Trump and his team. First question went to Marco Rubio, so nothing super market moving here, but now people are trying to ask Trump questions. Trump said he expects the questions to be civil. Back to you.
Yeah, here it is. Thank you, Adara, for letting us know. They're asking Marco Rubio about El Salvador. Not really important for our purposes, but the point is, to tell you is, the wild cards are now here. They're going to ask him pointed questions. Whether it had anything to do with what was discussed at the cabinet meeting or not has never held these reporters back. They have an agenda. They want to ask him specific questions, likely about the economy. All I've been seeing lately is his polls are 30-some-odd% with respect to the economy, so I think they're probably going to drill home about that. If that is the case, we may get some comments that move the market, so definitely be on the lookout now. It's like when Jerome Powell's finished, doing his prepared speech, and then the wild card comes in from the press row. So that's what we're doing. Donald right now taking questions from reporters. We'll obviously have Adara at the big desk covering everything. I've got it up on the side screen over here, not like I'm following every word, but yeah. Wild card time possibly in now. So keeping an eye on that. Guys, I'm all done my trade on OMH. I feel good about this exit, Joseph. I didn't get exact high day, but we were awfully close. It is losing $4 now. Okay, so here's a technical breach of the whole dollar psychological sport. Mind you, though, it's still above the 10 EMA on the 5. It's still above VWAP, so we haven't given up the ghost quite yet. If this holds above VWAP, I'm back in. If it shows buyers are stepping in at the volume weighted average price, I like it. That doesn't breach my rule. So we'll keep an eye out on this one. OMH is up nicely today, about 30%. Zigging and zagging here was up a little bit more. So we'll keep an eye out on that. Let's have a look at the overall market. It's been a little bit of time since we looked at the Mag 7. Let's bring in eSignal with their amazing charts and have a look at that. All right. Who's the best of the bunch today? Who is the best of the bunch? As I mentioned, obviously, Uber is not a Mag 7 name, but they're up 1/3%. So here it is, Uber on the bottom middle of your screen. It's not at the highs. It's been rejecting $80, but I'll submit to you $80 is the higher end.
Uh-oh. Damn.
Thank you. I muted for you guys. Thank you, guys. Is the higher end of the range, much like that. $60 is the low end of the range, Joseph. $80, that high end of the range. Rejecting 80 today. But this looks like to me, it's trading near the high end of the range, $80. So good look for Uber. Mag 7 related, it's still the dead one, Apple. That's still performing the best on the day. It's not at the highs. It did reject 211. Apple has a lower low and a lower high from yesterday. I get today we got GDP numbers that weren't that great. Payrolls as well were not that great either. It slowed down, markedly lower below estimates, but the trend on Apple still concerns me a little bit because we had been putting in higher lows and higher highs on the daily on Apple. Today, obviously, we have a lower high so far and a lower low. That's not going to change on Apple. So good look there. What else? How's your friend NVIDIA? NVIDIA has been finding support at VWAP. In fact, it's got a double bottom kind of here at the volume weighted average price. So NVIDIA, money off the volume weighted average price. You got couple of opportunities over here between, I want to say, 12.20 and 12.35, and then you got it again at 110 and 115. However, that's the good side, that you got support at VWAP for the longs. The bad side is you're continuing to put lower highs. So NVIDIA, not really breaking to the high side or anything like that, so we'll keep an eye out on that. Apple is working back into that closing print. that it's rejected off twice already. Can this be a third time? I'm talking about that 211.20 area. That 211.20 area is yesterday's closing print. So, you know, it acts as a level of support or resistance depending on where the price is. We've rejected it twice today. With the high of the day being 211.36 on a wick basis. We're moving into 211. We're about 5 pennies off 211 right now. Can we get yet another rejection on Apple on the closing print from yesterday, or is this a range trade? You know, with that kind of 250 area, Dara, and that 211 area possibly being that range. So we'll keep an eye out on that. Uber is looking to break out highs. Yeah, the market is moving up here. Donald's saying something. I don't know if what he's saying. I'm not listing, but the market's reacting positively here because we're back into local highs, whether on some of these Mag 7 names or the NQ. The local high, I'm not saying the high of the day. The local high on the NQ is 19,470. We're at 19,450 right now. So about 20 points off that area high on the NQ. So we'll keep tabs on that. Random oddities. Palantir, hold my beer. Absolutely. Let's have a look at PLTR. What are we doing over here? It's highs. Yeah, it's at highs. So Palantir is now green on the day, guys. Up 0.58. We were down, man. We were down bigly. We defended that 110 like a dang glove, though. Look at that, Joseph. 110 holds beautifully. And now we're up $7, a little bit higher. $7 off the low there. So PLTR is the gift that keeps on giving. I like this name. I've never invested in it, never owned it, but this is a fantastic look on Palantir, man. They continue to, oh, that's why, Joseph. That's when it moved to the NQ.
Yeah.
Off the NY. We don't have all the data.
Yeah.
That's so stupid. They should really have it contiguous.
I got that there.
You got that?
Yeah,
that's trading view though, right?
No, it's the same thing.
Oh, but that's advanced charts, which is trading view. Yeah. Okay, that's good. Good to know. So if I want to do that, I can just weasel into that. Yeah, good call there.
And I remember trading this name back in like 22, 23, and it was hot garbage, man. But then it just.
Remember when this was like $7, dude? Yeah.
At like $10, $12, $15. And then now we're just, what an absolute monstrous run. I mean, talk about just like making it with Palantir, right? There you go. It's like I'm sure Katina Mambone retired off of Palantir and trades like this. So, that's the dream. It's what you want to look for.
That 10 bagger, you know what I mean?
Like 10 bagger, man. And that's what I want. Well, that's what I figured, right? Like, if I can get if Bitcoin can go to $1 million, then I'll be all right. I'll be content.
I think it will. I hate to say it out loud because everyone thinks you're crazy and stuff like that. But
$1 million.
Did you told anybody in 2013 that this thing be flirting with 100,000? They would have They were told you were an idiot back then too.
Don't believe it.
Yeah, I'm done not believing. How many times do we need to see newer highs? Like how many times? You know what I mean? Like
if we can, like if and when it gets to that $250,000, I think it's almost inevitable that it gets to that.
He is inevitable.
That $1 million. I mean,
I happen to agree. It's just I think my timeline's obviously a little bit off because I'm going to lose this bet. But the point is, I'm okay dropping.
Dude, I mean, like where could this name be 20 years from now? That's all I really care about.
I'm buying.
Like, what is 20 years from now, what are you at?
Yeah, bro. I mean, like, okay, so again, it sounds absurd. But so what's the percentage increase? Okay, let's just look at BTC's chart. Let's just do this. We're doing it live. And let's talk about the percentage increase. We got that tool. So let's go ahead.
I'm
going weekly. I'll go monthly if I have to. When the hell does this thing start charting it? July 2019? Get the hell out of here, bro.
What's up with that, man?
Okay, so we're going to have to do it on TradingView, which is fine. I've got that over here. We'll load up the advanced charts, and we'll see what the situation is. So we're going to go new window. Yeah, there it is. New window. We're going to go charts, and then we're going to go advanced charts, right? There it is. Thank you, Joseph, for that idea, by the way. So go BTC, USD. There it is. How do you flip to the weekly on this piece of... yeah, we'll go 1 month. What are these? Why am I seeing point and figure charting over here?
What do you got going on?
These are point and figure charts. Have you ever seen these before? They're nuanced to read. Can you do it, Joseph?
Yeah, of course I can.
Thank you, man. I just want to see where we were at 10 years ago. So let's go April 30th, 2015.
All right.
Let's see what we got in a 10-year look right now. Because something tells me it's going to be a good look.
You want to know percentage metric as
exactly.
well, too, right?
So we're going to take that tool then, right?
Okay, we're going to take that tool.
There you go. Can we go Joseph's chart, Andre?
We'll go to weekly. We'll go to a weekly.
Yeah,
here.
yeah. Let's
maybe we even go monthly. So what do we? When did you want to go?
2015.
Here?
Let's go April. Anywhere in April 2015.
Dude, wow. And
yeah.
From where we're currently sitting at.
Yeah. So grab that, baby. Let's go to the top. Go to the top. Go to the top. Yeah, yeah. What percentage increase is that? How much is that?
It's 500,000%.
Okay. So then when someone says we're going to be at $1 million, you just show them that and be like, if I told you we would have been $100,000 in 2015, what? How many percent increase? 515%?
535,000%.
Well, there you go. There you go. So if anybody tells you you're crazy, you just remember that, right?
Crazy.
And I don't know. I
don't know.
It's just the way I feel about it now.
I don't think we're not going to see that type of return, right? Because to go from there.
I don't know, Joseph. I don't know.
You're not going to see that because for it to go to $1 million,
yes,
it still needs to like over 10x. No, like if my math is off, so we'll go to 100, and I can't even. I would have to like.
We didn't discuss the timeline though. 10 years. So in 2035. So where is this at?
Like for us to get to $1 million.
Yeah.
Like that's 1,000. That's still at 1,000% there, man.
Oh, sorry. I know that 515,000% was much more than that 1,000%.
Yeah, but I'm just saying the capital requirements.
Yes. Okay. Now we're talking. Now you're speaking my language.
So 1,000%. So horrible math by me.
Now you're speaking my language.
100% would be from 100,000 to 200,000.
Yes.
But again, we're already sitting at what, $1 trillion market cap. For it to go 1,000 times higher.
That's right. I agree with that 100%.
Valuable asset class of all times, probably dwarfing multiple, like every economy on the planet.
Well, for currently, right? Currently. But like for, okay, where was the NQ?
Where was it?
In 2015. You see what I'm saying? How much money has flowed into the NQ in 10 years?
Absolutely.
Right?
Like to get to that $1 million, it's still quite a return.
Of course, bro. I'm not telling you it's going to go in a straight line. I'm not saying that.
No.
But I'm done questioning Bitcoin. I'm done.
Dang.
I've seen way too much and missed out on a lot. So I'm done missing out, right? Naveen, current algorithms, ECDSA for digital signatures are more vulnerable than hashtags itself. Once a public key is exposed, example, when you send a transaction, it becomes theoretically, and then I think it got cut off because it cut off his comment there. So continue, Naveen. I'd like to see what you have to say. Just continue and tag me again so that I can see it there. Look, guys, we're not vouching for anything. I'm just giving my opinion, and it's all speculative, obviously. And, you can agree with us or you can think we're idiots. But the fact of the matter is, you just saw what you saw there, albeit obviously a different market cap existed in 2015. I get all that. But, the trends are what they are. So that's my look. Guys, I've got nothing on at the moment. I do apologize. There's nothing that I like at the moment. I've been keeping an eye here on CEP. It's been one of the ones I want to execute again on. It's having trouble taking 40. It's also still a lower high from that 40.5 print that we got earlier on. I want to say around 11:30. So I'm hesitant to want to get anything in on this. Likewise with OMH. Where is it at? OMH is at VWAP right now, but it's a plethora of lower highs. I need to see the first 5-minute candle to make a new high above the previous 5-minute candle on a closing basis before I get involved. I won't be trying to buy the bottoms here on OMH, but I'll keep an eye out on that. Abhishek. Oh, Naveen continued, theoretically hackable. Look, brother, a lot of was discussed when we got the quantum headlines a few months ago about the future of Bitcoin because quantum could so quickly basically mine all the other Bitcoins theoretically. We'll have to wait and see. It depends on who you believe. So I don't have an answer on that, to be quite frank. I think that's out of my...
The majority of them are already mined. I'm pretty sure like 90%.
It's 90-something that's mined,
exactly,
right? So we're going to get to the point where it's just going to be a scarce asset, right?
Exactly. And I think, with quantum, you just fight quantum with quantum. I think
that's a good point, bro. And that's what I was going to say. I'm like, the whole point of, the cybersecurity and everything else, they're using current technology with current, computers. But obviously, when quantum comes into play, they're going to have to up their cybersecurity game with likely quantum computers.
Exactly. So
well, again, I'm just speaking out loud. If there's a computer engineer or electric engineer or a programmer that can kind of expand or correct on what I'm saying, absolutely just tag me in the chat. I'd love to read out your comment. Tara, engineering, risk management. There is a higher probability that BTC will be near zero than 1 million. What will your future look like then? Hey, man, if you feel that way, short it and let me know how it goes.
Yeah.
Abhishek, Joseph, what are your thoughts on XRP long term, 5 to 10 years? Abhishek, we'll get back to that in a second once we're done.
But guys, check this out. New traders, listen up. First month, absolutely free. That's right. We're waiving fees. Trade smarter, not harder. Upgrade to Elite. Analyze, strategize, capitalize. Our platform, it's everything. Infinite data, instant trading, lightning fast market insights, game-changing charts, predict with backtesting, reliable real-time data, global markets at your fingertips, all in one platform. Don't miss out. Execute your best trades now. Ready to elevate your trading? Scan the QR code or check the link in the description. Let's see what Adair's up to, guys.
Just keep an eye here on the market. We do have comments still coming from the cabinet. I haven't chimed in, but Trump talking about tariffs again. We have the Q&A happening right now. So Donald Trump saying basically that they really want to be having this communication here with China. China's having tremendous difficulty right now, and saying they're apparently the chief ripper offer, quote unquote, of the U.S. That being said, FXI flying, NASDAQ flying, and the Canadian dollar flying against the U.S. dollar. Donald Trump praising Mark Carney, saying that he's a great guy, and that Mark Carney will be headed to the White House soon. So I guess some potential trade talks here between Mark Carney, Prime Minister of Canada, and Donald Trump, President of the U.S. Market pushing higher on this talk. Again, Canadian dollar against the USD pushing to days highs. Back to you.
I mean, guys, I'm loving the conversations in the chat. I believe it's totally constructive, and that's what we want, right? So, I mean, if you believe in it, then that's your. And for people who don't, then by all means, right? To each their own. You don't have to like it. There's other things that it's like, okay, yeah, you're trading this stock. Okay, I would probably be like, why would you even buy that? I wouldn't touch that with somebody else's capital. So, I mean. It is what it is, right? Like, again, it can go either way totally, but the way I look at it is when you have when people are just hoarding this underlying asset, and I'm just going on basic supply and demand, if everybody's continuously holding it and the supply is obviously continue every 4 years, it shrinks and people are still holding onto their Bitcoin, that can raise some demand. If there's any form of macro event that leads us to like, oh, hey, this asset's actually reasonable and not just necessarily a store value, then hey, you don't know what can happen to it. I mean, we can't see the future. That's not exactly what we mean. But here we go, hodling BTC to a milli. There you go. He's in he changed his name to that. So that's absolutely fantastic. That's what we want to see. The market is absolutely ripping. Adair's got some news for us, guys.
Donald Trump here ending the cabinet meeting. We had this market really push to the upside on as Donald Trump continued his Q&A at the end of the cabinet meeting here. But right now, it is now coming to an end. Donald Trump ending this cabinet meeting. Keep an eye on the market, because we are getting a little bit of a topping tail here and a push down on the Qs in the 3-minute. Back to you.
Beautiful stuff, Stevenson. I love to see that. You can see that, NVDA, Apple a new high day. NVDA putting in a new high day. Microsoft a new high day as well, too, guys. So that volume really, really stepping out. Bitcoin breaking through some key resistance levels. That's important as well. Here you go. Nice move right there on IBIT. Starting to come back in a little bit here now, though, guys. But you can see that volume really start to stair step to the top side. So that's one thing that we always want to keep our eye on, is that volume by time profile, and that's a positive sign. As we continue to appreciate in price, you can see that volume is slowly starting to increase. So let's see if we can continue to climb higher. And I told you my stance on this name, right? So I'm going to stick to it. It's either it's going to work out in the next couple weeks or so, or I'll just get out of the swing trade and I won't lose any sleep over that one. But Bitcoin continuing to work out for us time and time again. So yeah, I mean, go to Sharif's point, short it at your own will. If you truly don't believe it, then by all means. But you got to understand, like, why are some major corporations buying this? Like, why is Saylor trying to hoard it all? Why does BlackRock open up a ETF? Why is Grayscale have an ETF? Why is Cathie Wood opening up all these things? And the chances are, if you want to fight that big money, then by all means fight it. Huh? When you see BlackRock, Grayscale, and all of these large asset managers really start to take control of something, then I don't know, you got to ask yourself some questions and look to form it. Everybody gets mad at Nancy Pelosi for absolutely killing things. Well, follow what Nancy Pelosi is doing. And
Get it,
maybe,
Nancy.
Yeah, and then maybe you can become like a millionaire on a $250,000 salary or whatever it may be. But yeah, that's just my opinion. I was just
see the call she bought on Nvidia before the
before
the what's it called, the Build Back Better, the CHIPS Act or something like that.
I mean,
it was just like blatant, like, bro. What is happening?
Like, are you gonna tell me that Nancy Pelosi knows about Nvidia stock? I was just saying, Sharif, I'm essentially just following the money, right? Like, you see MicroStrategy buying Bitcoin. You got the BlackRock and the Grayscale ETFs and these larger asset management companies starting to buy that. So why not just follow them?
Exactly it.
Right? So just follow the money.
Well said, Joseph. Well, that's exactly it. I mean, when you see the big money buying as well, that's kind of one of the signs there. Guys, a couple of things here. ABEO has had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candle on the 5-minute chart hold up at the volume weighted average price. It's not making any higher highs though. It's just holding up at that level. So I'm continuing to watch. If we get that break, I want to say above, 680, 685 on ABEO. I'm getting back into this one. It's been a minute since we've been involved. I like the look of this one holding at VWAP up 27 and some odd percent. Not a bad look there. This one, CEP. So I missed out on this one. I got to tell you the truth. I just wasn't convinced that it was going to take out area highs. It's above $40 now. On the ask, that is, lower than it on the bid. But that's not the level we need to clear. We need to clear that 40.50. And I want to see it on a closing basis. Reason is, we've had lots of trouble with 40 today, wicking above 40 only to retrace down. Even this area here, when we made $42 of the high day, look how quickly we lost 40, dipping down all the way to 36.5. So to me, CEP has had a lot of trouble with $40 to close above there. So I am kind of concerned about this one. As a long at this level, I need to see closing prints above 40. I can get involved there. There's other stuff that I want to say about it. It's had a fair amount of respect here, at least from my perception of it, for the 10 exponential moving average on the 5-minute chart ever since basically double bottoming of VWAP and then defending the volume weighted average price. It kind of caught a trend to the upside, a decent trend, mind you. This is dollars here, $7 that is. $7, sorry, $3. Basically using the 10 EMA as support. Very, very seldomly did it breach and go down into the 20. Did it on a couple of occasions. This one over here at 12.55 and this one over here at 135. It's above 40 right now. It's still not above 40.50. And again, it's not just about wicking above 40. I want to see a closing print above 40 to get involved in this one. So CEP and ABEO, the best looking charts on, well, no, not the best looking charts, small cap gappers, that is. ODD's been beautiful, but it's very expensive. $59, just touched 60. So I've been kind of reluctant to get involved with that. NGD as well has been really good. I don't know why I didn't execute on NGD. This thing's been an upward channel the entire time. Not giving you much in the way of notional. I mean, when I was looking at it, it was at 370. Now it's at 394, so it's not the biggest mover on the day. So ABEO again and CEP, that's what I'm watching. OMH lost VWAP. So I'm happy I didn't punch in at the volume weighted average price for a third time. It lost the volume weighted average price quite quickly. It did find support at 350. 350 was kind of the opening print at 4 a.m. We tried to move back into 350 again at 10:50 a.m. So maybe some support there from earlier, but this is below VWAP, and therefore on my crap list, I'm not trading it until it gets above that level and stays above that level. Man, CEP is just calling my name. Trade me, trade me, trade me. Look at it, this thing go. Every time I look at it, it's like 60 pennies higher than it was last time. Here comes 41, man. Now we're at 40.75. $42 high a day here on this CEP, up 24%, giving you dollars here, man. Dollars at a time on CEP. Just be careful with it. It has a tendency to retrace quite aggressively. Here comes $41. I don't think we got to wait anymore, Joseph. This could be the breakout right now. Here's $41.50. The breakout is on. All right, so and here comes $42. Can we breach 42? Dang it, man. I didn't execute. That's my fault. You got gun shy over here, and there it is. There goes the high of day. $43 now, the high of day. Oh, my goodness gracious. Good goodness. All right, here we go. Let's see if we can get something. Do we get it in here, or is the retracement done? I don't know, man. I don't want to be punching in here with 15 minutes left and have to nurse this trade. $43 high of day, guy. CEP. Like literally went $3 while I was analyzing it. Oh, my goodness gracious. Yeah, I made a mistake on this one. I should have been executing. But the topping tail candle coming in now into, so $43 high dates, down below 42 into 41 and change. Is this a micro pullback we were looking for? I'm going long. Joseph, what do you got?
Yeah, so I'm just sitting here in this. A great conversation there, Naveen. I like that solid point. I like your point. I added what I think in that one on that front as well, too. But, I mean, we're still sitting in this grind here in SoFi. I took a little bit off right here at the volume-weighted average price because we got some of the big names continuing to climb higher, and SoFi just isn't participating at this point. So there it is. I mean, still sitting in this since 10 a.m. and we're going to just grind it out. I'll probably end up mocking this position and et cetera. So let's see what Naveen says. BlackRock, Fidelity, and others are building Bitcoin products, but not because they believe Bitcoin is entirely safe. They're doing it because you believe it is.
Sorry, I'm just...
Yeah, I'm not. No, I'm talking. I'm referring to, and I agree with that. But see, that's the thing. Just to add to your point, who cares? Okay, so as long as the masses agree with it, right? So you can see that it's popular amongst many. So if we believe it and things continue to appreciate, then why not just go with the flow? Until it displays itself saying, hey, this thing is absolutely worth zero or going to 10K, 50K, whatever you believe it is, why not just go with what is currently happening? And you can see it just consistently performing. It's one of the best performers month to date, up 10%. Compared to all the other underlying assets, right? So just go with the flow until proven otherwise. Don't be on that hopium trip and say, oh, I wish it does this. No, just go with it and see where it leads you. Do I believe it'll go to $1 million? Yes. Will it? I have absolutely no idea. So there you go. Go with the flow, makes money, Jameson. Perfect stuff. Example. So that and that's all it is. Steve Weiss himself says, I don't even care about Bitcoin. All he cared about is that other people care about it. And I think that's another way.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, that's
true.
That's honestly what he said. He's like, I don't care about this thing, but other people care about it, so therefore I'm going to continuously buy it. So there you go. Yeah, let's see what we got going on. Down 6%, 6 1/5 here, guys, on SoFi, but we're still extracting some profits on this one, sitting in this trade. I told you guys from entry one, bang, we were in there, and then we just add aggressively throughout this whole leg up. So we caught the bottoms in, and it looks like we're catching the top here as well, too, from an intraday standpoint, even though the opening drive was here, but relatively close on that recovery here in the market. But I like to see that NVDA put in a new high, trading just below 107. That's a positive sign. And then we had Apple around 211s. Yeah, absolutely. I like that there. There we go. Are you still long it? I'm reloaded. All right, he reloaded at 106. Now he's at he's almost in the dollar club right there on that one. So
he's usually in that.
He's usually in that club. Yeah, he's in that club quite often. He's a regular. Doesn't pay cover fee or anything anymore. So there you go. But yeah, I mean, good, like. Considering what happened this morning, this is what we want to see. A nice recovery here in the market. By all means, have we covered all of the ground? Absolutely not. But it's a step in the right direction, and that's what we want to do. Baby steps. You want to be able to walk before you can run. But, I mean, we're really right into those pre-market lows here. So almost a flat day, essentially, on the overall market, Sharif.
All right, Joseph, we're in CEP. Multiple outs already on this. Below 42, added above 42, took out some into 43. Now I'm holding one piece for a high day break. So I will risk 43 pennies on this amount, okay? So I'm going to hold into 42 because I've already done well on it. I don't mind waiting a little bit and giving back a little bit. If giving back allows me to take that 43, again, we got to move into 43. 92s now on the ask. We're unable to shake the seller, though, at $43. It's technically a 43.01 high a day. Boom, here's 43 again. Can we take them out? We're taking them out, Joe. We're doing it freaking live. Boom, into the high. All right, go CEP, go. I'm getting amped up. So good look right now is 32% in the green. CE freaking P, it moved up all the way into $44. We took it out at the $0.50, 43.5. So not a bad look there. Keep your eye out on CEP. It is continuing to give you the move. Once it broke that lower high pattern, I submit to you the trade was on, and I think I'm right about that. Once we took out that 40.5 on a closing basis with this candle here, now it didn't wait for a lot of people. Look how violently this candle popped up from 40 1/3 into 42.5, right? I mean, that's just kind of the move with this one. So keep your eye on it. It's done about 9 2/3 million shares on the day, almost 10 million shares, quite close, with a $44 high of day. CE freaking P, the gift that keeps on giving. This is my third trade on it, by the way. Initially, we got in 11 a.m. for a move up. We got back in over here 11:50, and this is the last trade over here 1:45 as the big kahuna settle in and ready to take you guys into that afternoon power hour. I'm sure it's going to be a really interesting one. Again, if you're just joining us, Donald Trump had a very, very lengthy meeting with his cabinet, which was concluded by press conference, essentially asking questions of the entire cabinet. They went cabinet member by cabinet member who reported to Donald Trump about the state of their ministry or department or whatever you guys call it in the States. Here we call it ministry. You guys call it probably departments. And we got lots of different comments from all the different cabinet members, cabinet ministers, including Donald himself, which was, again, concluded by a press conference. As a result of that, the market did turn up. The market was markedly red. We were over 2% in negatory land. Now the NQ is even lower than 0.75%. The Dow recovering the best. It's only red about a quarter. The ES about 0.6. The Russell taking it on the chin today. The worst of the bunch, down 0.92. So we've had a lot of things happen during the midday show, even though technically, I guess this is the slower time of day. I tell you guys, we got 4 years of this. It ain't going to be slow on the midday. Okay, it's just not going to be as long as this guy is president. We're going to have a lot of volatility. And as intraday traders, I can't complain about that. So that's the look there. Crap stock. The frickin' is a touch overdone. Very fun, though. Sorry, brother. I mean, I get a little excited. You know, we're talking for 3 hours. I'm smashing some coffee. I'm smashing some trades. But thank you for letting me know. Maybe, you know, I don't really hear it, but that's because I'm saying it. Anything you want to cover, Joe, on the last 7 minutes that we got over here?
Again, I think it was a pretty good day here. SoFi earnings, day 2. I was expecting. I mean, we've recovered quite a bit here in the market. Let's see how much NVDA is down. It gapped down yesterday on that SMCI report, but it is still down 2%. We were down significantly more than that at some point. The Qs. Nice recovery here as well, too. Only down about just about a percentage here. So that's nothing to cry home about or anything like that. So I like this. And as to Shrieve's volatility, he knows that I don't necessarily love the volatile markets. Aww. I like it after, right? I mean, I like it after. I mean, when everything's cooled off, you can get some orderly type price action. But one thing that I don't like is just being in a position and then next thing you know, you get this Truth Social post out here that just sends the market in an array, and you're sitting there scratching your head like, what is going on here? But that's just me personally, right? Like everybody has their own ways about the market. I like it nice and cool where options premiums aren't that expensive, and we can have some fun along those lines. You get those short-term duration spikes in volatility, and I think that's really what's fun. But the Firkin is a pub here in
Firkin.
The Firkin.
Yeah.
Firkin. This one just
like
down
that.
the road.
Yeah. That's like a chain of them, though. There's like the Fox and the Firkin, right?
Yeah.
There's different ones, right? Like
yeah. So
there's like different kinds.
Yeah. They're all. I think they're all independently owned. Maybe
Yes.
Something along.
It's like kind of like
Williams Landing, and then you have the Thing Landing just right there.
I didn't know the Thing Landing. Is there a Thing
no,
landing?
but it's not the Thing. I gave it. You know what?
Joseph.
Whatever. There's some lady's name on there as well too. But Williams Landing was a good one.
Some great spots, man. Some great spots in Toronto. And that's the thing about Toronto. It's beautiful in the summer.
Right? Yeah,
beautiful.
That's what I'm getting at, dude. Like, I just came back from Dallas. I mean, I had a fantastic time at the wedding. I just got a video actually of it, which was pretty cool. And but I'm like, what is going on here? I understand that it was Good Friday, but it's more commercial style building. Like, you have to go outside on the outskirts of Dallas. But when you're downtown Toronto, every other building is just like people are going to be out having patio drinks
show 'em,
and
bro.
having stuff.
Keep talking. I'm going to get a good sky shot.
Yeah, get a good sky shot of the city here. I mean, yeah, I just heard Sean say that the market is continuously moving higher, and it's being led by my good friend Jensen Wong. We're on good terms once again here. So
this guy,
it doesn't take.
I
long.
love it, man. I gotta love it,
It doesn't take long for us to kind of. I mean, I don't know if you want to call it a toxic relationship. It just fluctuates quite a bit with whoever I'm holding there currently. But there we go. Is
the
that
best city in the
updated,
world,
though,
bro.
Sharif?
I put
How do you do that?
2025, Joseph.
Okay,
I put
there we go.
2025. I don't know if we've got all the
there we go,
skyscrapers
you know what I mean?
there, but we got, okay, so Toronto has the most amount of buildings under construction in North America. It also has the most amount of skyscrapers or higher buildings under construction in North America. Toronto is booming right now.
Show them this, like this strip down. This is where your boy's running all the time.
All right, so this area right here, let's bring it down. Let's do it live.
There we go.
This is where Joseph runs. This is kind of Humber Bay Park area.
No, that's not
Humber Bay.
That's just Lakeshore. That's the
that's Lakeshore area,
the
right?
docks there, I guess we'll call it, or something.
That's the docks is on the other side.
We don't even know
Let's see what we got up here.
we don't even know what's going on.
That's Queens Quay. Yeah,
Queens Quay is a little bit more east. Just a scotch east.
Okay, here we go. I like this one better.
I'm on there every day.
Yeah. Hold on. This is a good one over here. Show yourself. Yeah, these are all the different skyscrapers that are under construction, guys. It's kind of nutty.
There's more to come.
And
there
this
you go.
This is a nice one here.
This
Joseph.
is
Look at
like
that.
once you get over here, Queens Quay, that's Queens Quay, all that stuff right over here. But that's just like kind of Lakeshore and everything as we get.
That's it. And people saying the Sky Dome. Yeah, I'll always be the Sky Dome to me, baby. It's not going to be the Rogers Center.
That's the thing, right? I'm going to be frank with you guys. Sucks during the winter. I'm not a winter guy. Love it during the summer because I'm rollerblading on the whole path. You can see here, Sharif, hit the thing for me,
Which
hit
one?
the mark. So I'll rollerblade from here, from my place all the way over to there.
Okay, so this is where he's talking about. This is Humber Bay Park right there.
Humber Bay Shores.
And there's like tons of condos over here that look into the city. So if you have these condos in the distance there, you have a great view of the city from the west side. But this entire area, see where the mouse is moving? That's all shoreline right there. So that's beaches, that's Sunnyside Pavilion right there.
My grandparents used to take me Sunnyside. I went Sunnyside swimming. I just hopped in, hopped out last summer.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
The beach?
No, the pool.
Oh, the pool, because there's a pool and there's a beach right there. And there's the bar that looks right onto the water. Dude, I'm telling you, it's beautiful. Beautiful. It's no New York or anything, but it is still very nice. I love it. I love living here. I'm very proud to have lived my entire life in the city. I've never moved anywhere else. My sister's a trader. She's the one that left.
Someone asked in the chat, the brass rail is still
Oh my God. Why do we have to do that?
The
brass rail. Oh my goodness. These guys, bro, they're killing me. What's going on over there, Katina, man? The brass rail. You need to bring in a lot of money if you're gonna go there.
You're gonna go over to the brass,
Oh boy, here we go. It's gonna get interesting now in the chat. Joe needs to visit Chicago, says Rooks SDX. I went to Chicago. I spent a week and a half there in 2014. I happen to love that city. I spent New Year's and Boxing Day there. It was one of the best experiences I've had in a North American city, other than obviously these southern cities like Los Angeles and Miami and stuff like that. I happen to love Chicago. I think it's a little bit bigger than Toronto. Very similar though, man, in the way that, you know, how Chicago kind of ends at the water. Toronto kind of the same thing. It ends at the water and you can only grow in 3 directions, not 4. Chicago, the same look. So yeah, I feel like there's a lot of similarities between the two cities. Maybe we have a little bit less crime than you guys, which is okay. I think the Chicago's the number 1 murder capital. Chicago's the number 1 murder capital in the world, says
yesterday
Katina.
You don't even want to know what was going on at Dundas Square yesterday. I went for a walk before I came here.
Tell us.
It's honestly, to my right of me, there's 2 guys getting arrested. Literally 5 yards up the road, there's 2 guys fighting each other. Their faces and everything are bloody. And I'm like, what is going on here?
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild.
Just trying to go for a walk.
But I just got one thing to say. It's Sankofa Square now.
Sankofa? It's Dundas Square. Come on.
Yes, my guy. Yeah, I just had to be that guy, bro. I'm sorry, Joseph. I'm sorry, Joseph. Obviously, I think it's still Dundas Square. Guys, we are now overtime. Katina, man, it's 2 o'clock, my boy. Katina is like, no, man. All right, guys, I had a fantastic time on the show today. I hope you guys did as well. We traded a whole bunch of small cap gappers. Joseph killed it on SoFi. He was trading the market. Obviously, we're going to send you the big kahunas now. They're going to be looking at the overall market in these big tech names. I'll see everybody in 1 second on the green screen. But Joseph and I will see you guys tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. Peace.
How's Sharif plan to get from there to here in 1 second?
Let's rock.
You're not that quick, bro.
We're back
not
in
that
the building.
Fast. We're back. You're not. I don't care if you are him. You can't teleport.